It's always interesting to watch Kevin work.
Yeah.
So he's a very smooth gentleman. He's very like he knows what to say.
I feel like I've
Potatoes.
You're back.
I'm back. Yeah, Jay's back.
You're back.
I'm back.
We're back.
I'm back.
It's
back.
It's a band. What's our band's name?
What is our band?
I don't know.
name?
You're
think we've
always
talked
trying to
about this
exclude
before.
me from your friends in your band, and I want to be a part
I'm
of
not
it.
trying to exclude you from my friends. I'm just trying to keep my
That's called exclusion, all right? I've been to all these bullying meetings
Segregation.
because of my daughters.
I feel like in all of our time together, we've definitely talked about what our band would be called if we were to have a band.
Titties?
Clem and the Fence Setters.
I like it.
What was your what?
I don't know. I don't even remember what it would be. Now I'm thinking too hard on it.
You got another one? Because I'm not sure I can remember all that.
No,
I don't.
Yeah, no.
You guys are into jazz now, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're super into jazz.
Did I tell you that? I took Thomas on a date last night, a dinner date, to a fancy steakhouse.
And he left you, didn't he?
Yeah, we sit at the bar because that's the way pirates eat, or guys that don't have women eat at the bar and talk to the bartender. And then so Thomas is going with the homies to see some jazz. I'm like, jazz? What? You're way too young. Jazz is stupid. Why are you going to? So he gives me this whole. We just went to New Orleans, and now we're all Creole, and we're gonna go. We're gonna go live the roots, and they're gonna go. And I was like, and it's just like a block away. And I was like, I ain't doing anything. I'm gonna crash this. He's like, cool. And then later he's like, nah, you can't come. So
my friends and you, I don't know. I just don't think it would jive. Am I wrong? You know my friends.
Yeah. It would be hard to tell. I think Kevin would be fine. I think it would be the friends that.
Yeah,
it sounds like you need better friends.
I mean, they're great friends, but I just like
you're hurting me.
It's like when you bring.
Well, one of them's not a friend.
You try to collide your worlds together. You know what I mean? And sometimes it doesn't work. Has that ever happened to you? Where you bring a group of friends that you love into another group of friends that don't know each other.
Yeah,
and it's strange.
And I want to get out of there.
Yeah, exactly. And I have this I want to get out of there. So
I
try to save myself from that. I'm trying to enjoy some jazz and not think about anything else. You know what I'm saying?
No, I would never exclude you from any part of my life, Thomas, and that was very hurtful. But, me being a survivor, me and Beyonce, that's who's Survivor, yeah?
Yep.
So I'm just like, oh, Thomas, like the ATF and haters, is not going to steal my sunshine.
Yeah.
So fuck that.
Don't let me steal your sunshine.
So there's a lady at the bar. I'm like, yo, you want to go see some jazz? And she's like, fuck, who don't?
Did I tell you what his opening line was?
No, don't lie. Because
his opening line
she
was,
talked to us for...
Well, you got potatoes.
Ooh, that's a good opener.
That is such bullshit.
That's a good opener.
No, this is what happened.
It would have been better if she didn't have potatoes.
So my man, Thomas, who is normally pretty reserved in a lot of ways, in our... Apparently, we don't have a friendship, so our professional...
your acquaintance.
Yeah, and my man gets a gin and tonic, and he starts going off on me. Kevin, this is why everything's fucked up.
Yeah, don't give me gin and tonics.
We need some changes.
Yeah.
And I need freedom.
There's Obama.
I never
give me a raise.
I never asked for any of these things.
It was like all this stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm just trying to chill. Like we're on a date. Like let's have a steak and just chill out, be homies. And he's going off and everything. And so then I'm like, oh goddamn. And he's like, oh, I'm going to see jazz. I'm like, how fucking old are you? Like, why are you going to see jazz? And he goes off on this whole, for my birthday, we went to, Thomas like cool as a motherfucker. It's like we went to New Orleans, and oh my God, it's the time of our lives. So I'm going with the homies. We're going, because it's jazz, and we're gonna go to the jazz concert here and all this. And I was like, holy fuck! Like I am too young for jazz, Thomas, and I could be your daddy.
And the lady next to you.
I know. So I'm like, you are 3 generations too young for jazz, Thomas. I cannot let you go. This is going to be some musical influence that's going to ruin your whole music career. Agreed. I can't let this happen. And so this lady next to me goes, I love jazz. And I was like, who are you? And I was like, so then I was stunned because this was not like a particularly super young lady.
Yeah.
And,
well, yeah,
she's very nice and wonderful. And I panicked. So my opening line, that was her opening line to me. And so my opening line was, you look really good and young for your age.
Are those potatoes?
So it was like I fucking hit the game-winning 3, so I could throw out anything I wanted there. So then I started talking about potatoes.
Yo,
Next
and
thing
she was waiting for Kevin. Like it was like she was waiting there at the bar.
If she
Kevin
had to
walked up.
approach you guys with "I love jazz,"
Yeah,
she was absolutely.
it
ready.
was Kevin. Kevin was in it already, and he didn't even know it.
No, see, I'm not good with women. So my initial reaction was she was looking for a fight. Are you calling me old? We're gonna take. It was like the scene from Harlem Nights, where Eddie Murphy accuses what's her name of like stealing.
Yeah.
Oh no, now I'm gonna have to beat your ass.
Right.
I don't want no hard feelings either.
It's funny because he immediately was like talking about. He's like, well, I just came back from all over the world. And,
Boy, gotta let her know.
I came back from Cameroon, which.
No, she asked me.
Good segue.
What I had been doing.
Good segue because you just got back from Cameroon.
Man, I hate when you tell lies about me.
I love
hate
South
it.
America.
You know, you were like, I just came. I didn't know what
she asked me.
You didn't. I didn't know
said
what
something.
Valentine's Day was, and
well, I said that because I said, I've been out of town. I tried to come have a steak last night. I didn't even know it was Valentine's Day. And I get there. It's like Tuesday afternoon at 4:30 is fucking popping in Portsmouth. You can't get a seat at the bar at the library, which is like the old person place. I guess I'm old.
I was at the
just like
110.
good
You
food.
could have come down the way.
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
It's all right.
I like good food.
I like the 110.
And so that's how it happened. She goes, "Oh, where were you?" I said, "Cameroon." She's like, "What? Where?"
Yeah, I love South
Cameroon.
America.
I think she thought I meant Massachusetts.
Yeah, probably.
And I was like, Africa?
yeah.
And so then I was just like, oh, I let the flow flow.
Yeah.
It's just what happened.
It's always interesting to watch Kevin work.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a very smooth gentleman. He's very like, he knows what to say.
I feel like I've.
Potatoes.
What are those potatoes?
Yeah, I feel like we can't use the potato opener.
No. We use the potatoes
Yeah.
opener. We just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They call the police or something.
Yeah. It wouldn't work out.
I realize I believe that was a backhanded compliment, but I feel like I'm old and getting a little Joe Biden, and I feel like you said I was smooth, but actually just told the world I am not, because I think I'm not very good with ladies.
No, but the thing about it is, what Jay just said is we wouldn't be able to say, what are those potatoes?
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to say that and like get a woman to come to a jazz club with us. You know?
Shot.
I don't think you would ask.
You did it. And
we'd forcefully take her to the jazz club. You're right.
And she was like, I like jazz. So you win based on you're smooth as fuck. And I can't say anything else about it.
I like it.
Well,
I like it.
Thank you, but it doesn't make up for you rejecting me.
So I haven't asked you one single thing since you got back from Cameroon. Because
which is in Africa because I'm a baller and I see the world.
Exactly, yeah. And I haven't asked you one thing because I wanted to wait for this moment. And now you have to tell us every single thing about it. I heard some crazy shit happen. Well, let's talk about Cameroon. Why are you going to Cameroon?
We already went.
Why did you go to Cameroon?
I asked myself that same question. So I have this other friend who's a real friend named Rad Robertson, who is probably the greatest PH in the history of South Africa.
I met him.
And he's a cool guy. He's been here.
Cool guy.
So anyway, there is, so I started this whole thing. Like I actually started hunting about 12 years ago when we were developing 300 Blackout. Like I didn't grow up around guns. I think I've said all this shit before. Didn't grow up around guns. Didn't grow up with anybody that hunted. None of this stuff. But when we started doing 300 Blackout, and that was at the request of the military, so I don't know, like all the PC shit, fuck all that. It's like we develop stuff to be efficient at killing things. That's the reality of it. It's not that I grew up with like bloodthirst. Like I became interested in firearms. Like the mechanical part of it and everything is interesting. And firearms are complicated enough to be interesting to me, and it's simple enough to where I can actually understand it. Like I could never participate in designing like a spacecraft or something or a computer, but guns, like I fit into that category, I think pretty well. Anyway, so when they asked us to do 300 Blackout and I realized it's going to be like, this is a military thing. I had a farm and I didn't even hunt at the time, but that's when I started. I went and started culling some deer to see, if 300 Blackout would work on human-sized targets. Like that's just, I don't know if we might have to edit this or YouTube will take it down, but that was what they wanted it for, was to shoot humans, terrorists. And I don't know, you can do all the laboratory tests and all, but I wanted to know. So Aiden will 5 or 6 year old, my son, he and I started hunting. So fast forward, did all that, got into hunting. I understood, started hunting with guys who've been doing it their whole lives and started understanding conservation. All the hunting, I talk about it all the time, so everybody gets it. So I fell in love with that, and it's a new passion the last decade or so. So then I started going to Africa, and we started doing 8.6. And so everybody knows we talk about it on here. Started doing all the testing on 8.6. And while we picked 8.6, fast twist, blah, 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 what we're trying to achieve. But again, so rather than just gel test or lab test, okay, I'm going to take it out and kill stuff with it. I want to know how effective it actually is. And so that's what I've been doing. So that led to this love affair that clearly I have with Africa, and how much I love it there, and all the reasons you guys have been with me and, probably feel the same way to some degree, just how great it is. And so then I started hunting, and I love the culture there, the people. It's I think it's America in the 1950s. South Africa is a really wonderful place for, how do you explain it? Anyway, so started hunting and started shooting things for testing, and I love hunting, and it's there are these aspirational hunts throughout Africa. So I wanted to start exploring other places in Africa, which we've done. And, so you start with neighboring countries, Mozambique or Zambia or whatever it is, but Cameroon. So most of the PHs have a huge admiration for Eland, and there's basically 4 Eland in Africa. And so the Cape Eland, which are the biggest, are in South Africa and Southern Africa, where we hunt a lot. And then Livingston, I think, is what it's called, is in Mozambique. And so on Mozambique trip, we hunted there. And then I think there's Patterson or something, which is in Tanzania and Uganda and stuff.
Very white names. Livingston, Paddington.
Lord Farquaad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, and I don't actually know why they're called Lord Derby Eland, but that's the pinnacle of hunting plains game in Africa, and they're only in West Africa, in the Congo, and northern Cameroon.
Are they bigger? What's the deal?
So Lord Derby, it's a smaller population in general area. The horns are way bigger. The bodies are a little smaller. Their legs are longer. They cover, and it's kind of more arid where they are, so they cover 20, 30 miles a day, where a Cape Eland might go a quarter of that distance. They're very difficult to hunt, but it is beautiful. They have kudu. I mean, we probably all agree. I mean, that's kind of a subjective thing. What's the most beautiful animal? And there's hardly any ugly animals in Africa. Even the warthog is so ugly it's cute, but everything looks great. But Lord Derby has stripes like a kudu. It's a beautiful tan color. They have the biggest horns by far. I mean, they are giant. And it's just one of the most beautiful animals. And then in the rut, not only does their neck swell like a lot of animals, but it's black. Ooh. And then their mop or their broom brush, different things people call it here, another way you measure Eland, is during the rut that hair grows. And so the black is sort of interesting. A lot of it is during the rut, they'll piss in the dirt and then they rub their necks and head on it. But so
I'll never forget when I was with you in South Africa, we shot that first Eland that we were both a part of.
Oh,
and
it's a tough hunt too.
It was so funny because Rad was rubbing his hair and he's smell. And he's it smells like piss. Isn't it awesome? And you're I ain't smelling that. Man, I don't want to smell that.
Also, no, not that awesome. I can piss on myself too, and it's not tight.
Let me smell your beard.
Yeah.
Are you rutting?
20. Let me finish this, and I'll let you know.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the only place they hunt them, and it's a very aspirational hunt to people who are into hunting in Africa or plains game or whatever. And my sense of urgency with it was, so they're only really in the Congo and in northern Cameroon. Well, all of these places are very unstable in West Africa. And man, Cameroon is it's a French colony, and I'm used to these Dutch and British colonies and the people there, and they're different. The
French.
Yeah, they're assholes.
So you're saying it's going to Montreal, basically?
Well, I haven't been.
Oh,
I'm not sure I'm
Montreal
allowed
is
in
a
Canada.
great place.
I know, I love it.
We went there.
Yeah, it's great.
Did we ever tell you that we went to Montreal one time?
And
And
tell me about the strip club.
We illegally worked there. Allegedly.
There's a statute of limitations.
there's and we found out that every woman or man is fucking beautiful.
From the Border Patrol agent
Yeah,
all
Oh
the way
my
to the gas
God.
station clerks to the...
And we went there specifically to get creme brulee because that's how we bond.
thing.
We get creme brulee together.
Is
kind of
that code?
No,
No, it's a
like-
lovely dessert, actually.
Yeah, it's a nice
Agreed.
dessert that we go and we find and we eat together and we have a good time. We went there with the sole purpose of doing that. We went around Montreal and we were so blindsided by all these beautiful women that we got
There are
McDonald's.
lots of beautiful women there.
We got McDonald's and left, and then by the time we got back into the country of the United States, we're like, we never got
Yeah, holy shit.
creme brulee. So
I got
But-
body checked at McDonald's, too.
that's right. We were like, we thought that somebody like fucking took his wallet. It was awesome.
It was in my hand, though.
Yeah.
Nice try.
The guy or the what?
A little bit of both.
What was the illegal part? It was just criminal that you guys didn't get creme brulee.
No. We went up and allegedly might have done a job,
Yeah.
and
We'll leave it at that.
yeah.
You guys assassins? Like, what is
We're
this
creme
creme-
brulee assassins.
We're
for
not
sure.
really. We,
Well,
we
you
can't
suck
really
at
talk
it,
about
apparently.
it.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about
We
it.
don't like to talk about it. There was Jewish people. It was a whole thing.
Oh, and the stiffs.
Yeah.
The morgue. Oh,
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So there's French colony where you were. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they're assholes,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't used to because, I mean, like the cause of people and everything in South Africa, like everybody is so wonderful and
So they spoke French. They didn't speak like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they speak French.
do you think
Which,
that...
like, what a sissy language.
Oh,
Like,
it's gross. And it
there-
sounds
I don't
gross.
care how tough you are. You start speaking French to me, like, I feel like I can whip your ass.
Do you think that the reason...
Was
that
Van Damme French?
Jean-Claude?
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
He's got to be Dutch.
Or
I was
is
going
it-
to say, yeah, Dutch
Oh,
or something,
okay.
maybe.
I was going to
but,
say because.
But I think I don't know.
He fucking-
Georges St-Pierre, he was French.
Yeah.
Do you think that people are... Because in South Africa, people are coming in all the time to hunt. So I feel like they're used to that. That just are... It's normal for them. I feel like there are fewer people going to Cameroon to hunt, maybe.
Yeah, I think like this was a very expensive trip and hunt, and it was very difficult. Like it's 3 days of travel.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, based on all of the hunts you've ever been on, how difficult was this hunt in particular?
Yeah, because last I knew, the lion hunt was like the lion or the leopard was one of the gnarlier ones for you.
Those are difficult hunts for kind of other reasons. This hunt was the most difficult hunt, probably by 3, 4, 5x out of any hunt I've ever done.
That is crazy.
If people knew what this hunt and what it took to get there, and you had to deal with, and the conditions, and like the camps were nice, the food was great. They had real chefs and stuff, so that was wonderful. But conditions, meaning the hunting conditions, like what it takes to get a Lord Derby eland. No one would go even if it were free. Like that's how hard it is. Now you can look online. There's guys that are like 65, 70 years old, shoot Lord Derby every year. And you're like, oh, how hard can it be? They can do it. Well, they go to this one place. It's next to this park where there's lots of them. And that's cool. I don't knock any hunting. But for this kind of hunt, like that's not the real hunt. Like that's going there to shoot a Lord Derby. And I thought I wanted to hunt a Lord Derby and realize now that I'm one of those old guys and I just want to go shoot one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I mean, even John and Rad, like what tell you, John said that the first day we were there was the most difficult day of hunting he's ever had in his life.
And these guys
Or
hunt professionally.
professional hunters in Africa.
And like they're not slouches by any means. Like Rad moves the fastest through the wilderness I've ever seen, and John's just like a spry young dude.
Yeah, and is fit as shit and does this every day. And when he's not doing it, he and his wife have a farm, like
Right.
So
a
why
real
was
farm with cattle.
Why was it so hard? What about it was challenging?
It was the winter, and it was 100 to 120 degrees in
Well,
Fahrenheit.
winter
every day.
here. Winter here.
Well, it's winter there too. It's in the northern
really?
hemisphere. It's like 100 miles
Yeah,
north.
Love
of the
geology, dude.
or geography, any of them.
I don't do math.
Yeah, so it was extremely hot. The first day, for instance, it was like 115 degrees. We're in the mountains, which it's not like the mountains in the Eastern Cape. So we're probably at like 3,000 feet of elevation. Elevation wasn't the problem. It was steep, and the grass is like, it's very thick there, and the grass is 8-10 feet tall, and you're having to push your way through it. And we went 31 kilometers. So we can do the math, but I think that's probably like 15, 17 miles. And it was, 100. It started out at 9 a.m., it was almost 100 degrees.
So when we're in South Africa, we drive a lot, right? Was there not a lot? Yeah, that's great. Was it not a lot of driving? It was mostly walking.
So here's the deal with Cameroon. So you would drive the roads to find fresh eland tracks. So our tracker was 66 years old. He's been doing this since before he was 16 years old. But you got the math on that?
Yeah, 20 miles, just under 20 miles.
20 miles. I had to stop in the shade and lay down twice. I thought I was going to die. And so I felt like a big sissy. And then the second time I was going to do it, John comes up to me and he's like, are you going to ask to take a break anytime soon? Like, John was about to die.
Yeah.
And, the 66-year-old native dude that's from there is like, can go 100 miles in a day, no problem. But he tracked those. And come to find out, like 2 guys had been there before, 16 days, and never seen an eland. So I shot my Lord Derby on the 4th day, which was, for this type of hunting where we were, was very fast. And so then after the hunt, and I felt like this huge sissy, they're like, I actually did really well. Because they're like, most people can go, we get on tracks, they can go 5 to 10 miles in this heat. And that's why you pay like twice as much to hunt at this one place next to the park where you can shoot one basically any day you want.
So what was the actual like hunt like when you like that final day when you were like stalking that animal?
We'll get this. Let me tell you. So you drive around, you find tracks across the road, and then the tracker will look at them, see if it's a herd or there's a bull. You can tell by the tracks. And so he got on these tracks, and we went whatever you said miles that first day, 15 miles or 20 miles, whatever. And so we did that for 4 days, and we caught up to them in 4 days. They move a lot there, unlike like 4 times as much as KP and stuff. So they can move 20 miles in a night. And so then we had a full moon, so it was just a big mess. But we stayed on them. We finally got on them, and the bull on the 4th day. And so I'm getting more acclimated to the heat and everything by then. So it still sucks, but it wasn't. The first 2 days, I thought I was going to have a heart attack and die. The 4th day, we get on them, and it's about 100 yards through thick, like forest, basically. And finally, the sun's hitting, and I can see in this one spot the pH. It's me and Rad, and John's filming, and we have a pH from there. And he's like, gets kind of set up and tells me where to look, and I'm with my binos, and I can see a cow, an eland cow looking at us. First time I'd seen one in 4 days. So this guy tracked them like 50 miles through grass and everything for 4 days and found them.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Like insane. Like the best tracking I've ever seen in my life. It is unbelievable. If I weren't there, I wouldn't believe it. One time when I laid down, the second time that first day to take like a quick nap and rest, I said to Rad sat down next to me, and I was like, there's no fucking way this guy is tracking that eland herd. And he says 100% he is. I see everything like he's seeing, like he's showing me. And so I can tell we've stayed on it. It's like, Brad wasn't saying he could do this,
right?
Like how incredible this guy was, but he says we are 100% on that herd. When you're talking about a herd of like 6 or 8 eland, it's not like a herd of like 100 where you and I could track. Anyway, so we get there, see the cow. I'm like, huh. And so the pH is crawling around, kind of paralleling and looking through the brush to find the bull. Finds the bull. We take about 10 minutes to move over super slowly, like 20 feet, get set up, and he tells me where to look, and there's a little gap. And the sun's not on the bull. He's in the shadows, and he's profiled, and I can see his black silhouette, and I can only see him from the neck up. And
how far away were you?
A little over 100 yards. And so the footage is going to suck. There'll be some footage because we got footage of them, like the herd running and shit like that.
Yeah, me and James were supposed to go on that. And then when you got back, you said that you're actually happy that we didn't.
Yeah, you guys refused to go. You were scared.
We were.
No, that's false. No,
That is 100% true. I think even your mom said you couldn't go.
no.
I was already there.
We were told we couldn't go.
Yeah, Christine told us we weren't allowed to go.
Work mom.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
mom said she would sign a waiver and everything.
Christine needs
Yeah.
to.
I was already there. I was looking for you guys.
So it was like
I lost.
Yeah, you needed a tracker.
Yeah.
So you had John running camera, and it probably would have been really hard for us to get.
You would have been so frustrated. Like,
Was that Andrew's camera, by the way? It looked like it was from the
yeah,
80s.
yeah, and it's a new one. They bought
got
one they
V-
wanted. And John was
VHS
like, "It's
tapes and
stupid
stuff.
that they bought this." Yeah, but you would have been so frustrated because it was impossible to get like any of the actual kill shots. Like out of I don't know how many animals I shot, probably 8 in the end. There might be one good shot you can see on the animal because. So we're looking through the binos. It's dark. I can see that's the bull. I can see his neck. I can see the giant fucking horns. And there's a little bush. And so Rad and the PH and I are looking, just trying to get any light to where we can see where that bush is that's covering them and how thick it is and if I can put a bullet through it. And so we decided that I could. And this is risky. I mean, we just spent 4 days. It might take us 2 more weeks to find another one, and it's a very expensive animal.
What are you shooting with?
And if I shoot him and he runs and we don't find him,
A gun.
I'm paying. So so Cameroon would not allow me to take the fix because they thought I was going to try to assassinate the president because it looks like a
Which
military
is why
gun.
I was there.
Yeah, so then I got. It's funny because I have like 3 375 rifles, including a new one that I just purchased, and they all failed when I went to test them at our range to start shooting. And so I was like, fucking shit. Which this leads me to pressing the gas on the proper fix so we have an African gun to fix. Anyway, and so then I'm thinking about it. So our good buddy Nick Schaefer in engineering, who's the lead designer on the fix, he worked out of college. His first 8 years, he worked at Browning, who owns Winchester. And he was able, as an employee, to buy a Blim receiver for a Safari Model 70. Yeah. And so he made the barrel and built his own 375, and he got a junk stock that they were throwing out because of cosmetic blims and built this whole gun himself. It's like the first gun. And he built it with a dream of taking it to Africa to shoot stuff, which he took it last year when we went on a hunt, and he shot a zebra and whatever else.
Warthog. Yeah.
Warthog?
He put it down. Yeah, it was hilarious.
375's legit. Yeah. So people that don't know, like the 375 H&H, it's like the smallest cartridge in a lot of the African countries that you can shoot dangerous game with. And it's a great cartridge, and it's what the 300 Win Mag comes from. So basically they neck it down, shorten it a little, I think, neck it down. Not even shorten it a little, but I think they do. Neck it down, put a 30 caliber bullet in it, and that's 300 Win Mag.
You ever been neck down, Jay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A couple times.
So we decided I can shoot it, and I tell you, it is probably the most precise shot I'd ever made not because I'm a brilliant marksman, but because I was so afraid to have to track another eagle. So I shot through the bush that was just in front of him, and I do everything right. Like, I'm very focused on this shot. I squeeze, shot, we hear the impact, Eland disappears, we start sprinting towards it. And we get there, and he's lying dead. Like, I was super lucky. One shot, he's dead. He's kicking a little, but I mean, he hadn't moved. And so I put another one in him, and that's it. And I tell you, I never had more relief.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. That's expensive.
Yeah, it was expensive, but yeah, I mean, it was hard. And then, it was a similar situation. I wanted a Savannah buffalo, which are kind of only in that area in West Africa as well, because it's a Western Savannah buffalo. So it looks a little different than a Cape buffalo. The horns are different. They're a little smaller.
Are they aggressive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a similar situation to a Cape. Probably not quite the same, but yeah, they kill people every year.
Jeez.
And so that might be the only good footage that we have, because we track them, similar things, several days, track them, but it's a bigger herd, it's a little easier to track. Their prints are bigger. They disturb the environment more. It was about 50 together, but there's only a couple mature bulls, and we chase them through a couple miles of tall grass, and they get out in kind of an open area, and it's kind of a standoff, like my last Mozambique hunt where it shot some buffalo. So come out of the tall grass, and they just all line up like we're gonna have a gang fight. And And so I light this one up, and the herd starts running, and they didn't know where the shot came from. It's the farthest I've ever shot a buffalo. It was probably 100 yards, 120 yards. And like I like to do it closer, but it's impossible there. Like you could get lucky somehow, but my bad. Sorry. Make sure probably Christine. Oh, imagine that.
I have an alarm set. It's 10:30. You got 15 minutes left.
All right.
It's Christine saying, "Tell Jay to not talk about killing the president of Cameroon." Which I did.
She emailed you the meeting code. She said sorry, she was in a meeting. I was like, okay. So anyway, she was
Inshallah.
So I shoot this, but the great thing about this footage, the lighting is good. It's like in the afternoon, and the light is like coming through the herd. You can see, and they're kind of in the open, more open than any other place I'd seen there. But the herd runs and turns and runs towards 50, and so get this. So Nick's gun, the spring in the magazine wasn't exactly perfect, and like in test firing the gun, I'd seen this happen, but not very much, and then nothing had happened on any of the other animals I'd shot. And I go to chamber the next round, go to chamber the next round. They're running towards us. I see him limping. Shoot, click.
Click.
And we have a herd of buffalo running at us. And so we do some emergency drill procedure there, and then I shoot him again, and that's it. And the herd turns and goes that way. But anyway, the footage is probably going to be the best footage. I'm anxious to see what you guys do with it.
Yeah. Well, one of the things you talked about, the relief you felt with the Eland, it made me think like being a PH must be, I mean, in and of itself, it's a hard thing, but like the times that we've been to Africa, luckily the guys that we're with, everyone at Q is a really good shot. Like when it matters, they get it done.
Yeah. Remember that time I fucking smoked that bad boy?
Yes, in the head.
And the ladies just went to Africa, and they actually shot really well, dude.
Yeah, and so everyone does really well, and like the times that we film, I remember, especially with kudu, because kudu are kind of, it's tough to find a kudu and get a good shot on it, whatever. And I can remember sitting there, seeing a good shot happen, seeing it go down, and being like, okay, I'm glad they got that. But we've heard stories where it's like there was someone on one of the trips that 4 days in a row they got put on a kudu, and whether it was them or the gun or whatever, they just couldn't make it happen.
It was the gun for sure.
It definitely was the gun and the scope.
And it was not one of our guys.
No,
it was a friend of ours.
And it's like you can see. I mean, I could see on Seppi's face when he would come back from lunch, and he's not disappointed in the shooter, but he's just like, we put in this work, like it couldn't make it happen. I can't imagine having to go through that, because I'm sure people that go there, they just have a ton of money, they don't kill a lot of stuff, and they just go out and miss everything. And I'm sure it's a nightmare.
I think it happens some, but yeah, how ridiculous is it that you're going to go through all that effort, travel the world, spend all this money, and you don't do the easiest thing, which is practice shooting?
Yeah.
But then some people who can really shoot, just for whatever reason, always get buck fever. And it's not that I don't or never have, but like, you fuck some shots up and you fuck some hard hunts up, and it's made me like really refocus. Because even when the buffalo were charging us when I shot this one, I was much more nervous about the Eland and losing the Eland than I was about the buffalo. I was just like, it's going to work out.
I would have climbed a tree.
Yeah, you
Dude,
definitely.
we went on an Eland hunt, and I was stoked the whole time.
Douchebag, shoot it from here.
We've never told that story to anybody. 'Cause
have we not?
We also never put the video out.
Well, we should put out my footage and audio.
James, roll the clip.
Fucking cunts, dude. He's fucking broadside. I'm back here. I'm getting nothing from you. I can't hear you. You're gonna have to use hand signals. Coming. Fucking goddamn it.
Last time we went, it was you, me, Jay, and Rad.
Yeah.
And we were after Eland. I really wanted an Eland with the Subsonic 8.6 for footage. That was like, we went out that day looking for that thing specifically. There was a couple things that popped up here and there, but we finally found like this like big herd. I don't know, it was like what, 20 something.
Yeah, it was a few.
Yeah, and we finally found this big herd, but we're also losing light, and our cameras don't really work that well after a certain time. So we were kind of racing the clock, and we were also like going straight up a mountain following this herd for a couple hours.
Well, wait, before I just want to interject real quick. When we were in the truck and we first spotted the herd, Rad he swore there were no bulls in there. And we saw one that thought was a bull.
I was arguing with him. I was like, that's a bull.
Well, at first we thought one was a bull or whatever. And Rad's like, no, it's a female, whatever. And it turned and Kevin was like, do females have dicks? And Rad was like, no. And so we looked and he's like, and we realized it was a bull. So
That's
then we took off.
You were arguing with him because he was in a
Yeah.
funk for some reason. He like that day for
that Eland too. It was tall, but had narrow.
Yeah, it had horns like a cow. We can put the picture up now, but it's the longest horns I've ever seen on a Cape.
Yeah.
Eland, but it wasn't incredibly old, but and it wasn't a huge body. Just genetically, its horns not thick, but just super long, which is kind of what cow horns look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't mean to interject.
We were going straight up this mountain, and
God, they can climb mountains so easily.
and we're just chasing them, right? But also, it's important to know that we were shooting the Subsonic 8.6 for like kind of the first time, really,
on that big of an animal.
And and Kevin didn't have dope on like past like 250 or something. And
so Jay's just like, shoot it at 800.
Yeah. So we're chasing him up there, and me and Jay are working in tandem, obviously, because like he's got the long lens, and he's to his credit, he's got like the big lens with the tripod and everything. And
I do have to offset a little bit because the shot you ended up taking was pretty close. I do have to offset a little bit, so generally I'm a little behind you guys for that shot, or I'm right, whatever.
So
but
Jay got a lot of behind.
Yeah, I got a lot of behind.
Jay got a lot of behind going up this mountain, and we have like comms. You know the comms, right? We have like comms so we could talk to each other.
And let's again express this was a long, hot day. This was
earlier,
late in the day. We'd been hunting all day. Like everyone's fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
And also like every time I would stop, I would set up and I'm on because you guys would stop because you got the gun slung, so you can just snap up or whatever. And I'm thinking from my angle, you're killing this thing 17 times. Like on my, I'm like, why is he not shooting?
And we
this
keep moving closer.
Right.
Rad keeps saying, nope. We have to keep moving closer. And Jay's far behind, and our comms go down. We can't talk to each other. So we're frustrated already that we can't talk to each other. And
you guys are like the Backstreet Boys.
Dude, so
you
bad.
guys were so on the way this trip. Man, we're gonna get the best footage. We got set up. We got everything. We got comms. Look at this. You guys look like idiots.
We got the footage. Hey, roll the clip. So I can't talk to Jay. Jay can't talk to me. But his camera's rolling because he's trying to like if it goes down, he needs to like make it happen fast. So he keeps the camera rolling, and he's. If you listen to the audio of his camera, the whole time he's like, fucking shoot it! fucking cunts. And he's like hustling up this thing. And every time me, Rad, and Kevin look back, he's like 500 yards away. And then one time
we're having to wait for him. Like we get close to we're climbing a mountain late in the day. We get close enough to shoot, and Jay's not there.
Well, dude, after this part, what pissed me? So I'm already pissed about the comms because I can hear him trying to talk to him. I can hear him hot micing, but we can't go back and forth. So, he could hear me because I'm going, I can't fucking hear you. And I can hear him hot micing. I'm like, whatever the fuck you're saying, I can't hear it.
Yeah.
And so I'm already pissed.
It was a horrible hunt.
And then I'm sitting there going, are you shitting me? Like, you didn't shoot it? So and then you guys go up even higher, and I'm like, fuck. So I gotta go up there. And dude, I'm about to piss my pants going up this thing. So I'm like hoofing it up this thing. And I get to a point where I'm like, you guys are standing up there, obviously waiting because you're trying to shoot an animal. I'm like, I'm going to piss my pants. So I'm like, fuck it. I stop and turn around. I start pissing off the side of a mountain. I look behind me and you're all standing there looking at me. And I'm like, oh, I know they're thinking I'm just trying to take a break. I'm like, I'm pissed. So I'm on the mic. I'm fucking pissed at you. Dude,
so we were going to take the shot.
Yeah.
And we like look back to see if you're ready because we can't talk to him at all.
Yeah.
And he's just pissing in the wind, yelling at us.
Yeah. I'm taking a fucking piss. I was literally going to piss my pants.
I'm about to have a heart attack, and I'm like, Thomas, I'm twice his age. What the fuck, man?
I was pissed.
And there's nothing I can do about it. But we
ended up getting the shot.
We got the shot.
Yeah, I skirted around the side of the mountain. I saw you.
Yeah, and it was like right when the sun was going down too. And like the Eland's like silhouetted and everything. But but we got the shot. But the worst part of it all was when we were on top of this mountain. Rad looks at us.
Now
and
it's dark.
He says, "Oh, it's dark now, and we're in buffalo country. So stick together."
He's like, everyone stand together. There's buffalo here. I'm like, oh, tight.
Great.
I don't have to piss anymore though.
Yeah, that was no good.
The adventures of hunting, man. It's
That's
fun.
right.
This is part of why I love it.
Yeah. So sorry I called you guys those names, but
Dude, hey, roll the clip again.
Fucking cunts, dude. Fucking goddamn it.
I was just thinking about it. Did I tell you about my case with Department of Homeland Security?
Oh wow!
domestic
Since
terrorism
I'm speaking
case?
to legal counsel right now, let me go ahead and pause that. And,
Yeah.
I want to hear it. Just domestic terrorism though. You're not
Yeah,
you're not worldwide like
no,
Pitbull.
I'm working my way up. When will this be out? Like a month?
Who knows? We never know.
I'll probably be a free man by then. But so I was shooting a job for a company and I was at this range and they were doing like force on force stuff, whatever. Using smoke grenades, this, that, whatever. So I did this job, not a big deal. We're on a range. So at the end of the job, I was helping clean up and I was throwing just like ammo boxes, like all sorts of stuff in my bag. I had a backpack when they threw it in my bag and then would go to the dumpster and dump it all out. So I cleaned up the range, helped them out.
Seems like a great idea if you go on an airplane with that bag.
Well, I wasn't thinking about that. I just was like, oh, it's not a big deal. 2 days later, I took a flight to Texas and go to Boston Logan Airport.
They're very understanding about these things.
Super. Yeah. The 9/11 had nothing to do with Boston. So it's 5:30 in the morning. I go through.
And look at you.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you look a little bit like a terrorist.
Yeah. So the
gonna
night
throw
before
that
I
out.
go through, because I remembered, oh, hey, I had that stuff in my bag. I dumped it out. I should probably take a double look, look again.
Good call.
So I look through all my stuff. I'm good. So I throw in my underwears and all my stuffs. I've got my backpack with clothes, my camera bag. Go through the airport. It's 5:30. I'm standing there. I see my bag. My clothes bag gets pushed. So I'm like, okay. Normally my camera bag will get hemmed up for a reason, batteries or it looks like bombs or whatever. I don't know. So I see it's my clothes. I'm like, this is weird. So my laptop had come out. So I'm holding my laptop and the dude goes, whose bag is this? That's me. I said, all right, when your other stuff comes down, meet me at the end. Okay. So I'm waiting for my other stuff. But
Sounds innocent enough.
Right. So I'm just like, oh, it's probably maybe I have batteries or something in there. So I see the conveyor belt stops and the dude picks up my bag and walks back and I'm looking at him. He's like side-eyeing me. We're making eye contact. I'm like, what is this dude doing?
And you see SWAT moving in. You're like,
No. It's just super normal. I'm just like, and I've got plenty of time, but the people around me, they're like, is that your bag or whatever? I'm like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. All the stuff stops. And then I start seeing like more TSA people show up. And I'm like, dude, whatever. And they're looking at me. I'm like, whatever's in the bag, let's just open it up and talk about it. Like, you said I was going to be down here. Let's just do it. There's nothing in there. Like, you don't like the color of my underwear. Not a big deal. So it was battle briefs, tactical distributors, Impossible 15 gets you 15% off. So the dude's like looking whatever. And I'm at the end and all of a sudden the screen pops, like the screen at the end, it shows up with the scan. And I look and it was kind of like an out of body experience. I see my bag, I see my underwear, my socks, my Crocs are in there. And
that's embarrassing. They should have arrested you.
I know. And right next to him, not hidden at all, is a grenade. And I'm going, oh, that's not good. And I knew exactly what it was. I say a
I'm
grenade.
so disappointed they didn't tackle you before.
Yeah, I know. And I say a grenade. It was a smoke grenade. It was an expended smoke grenade. It was one that I'd picked up to throw away. And it was just like when I was stuffing pockets, it was in a pocket. It didn't fall out when I went in the thing. So I see it and I go, I'm going to jail. And it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm thinking about all my other stuff is still on the thing. So I don't even have my phone. If I had my phone, I would have taken a photo so I could show it to you.
None of my friends are awake to come get
Right,
me
because
out
I
of
was
jail.
going to be like, I need to text who the job I'm going to and tell them, hey, I'm going to jail. I'm not going to be able to make the job. Sorry. Refund your ticket. But so they're all looking at me, whatever. And dude comes over. He's like, all right, man, what do you have in your bag? And I was like, dude, I told him, I explained. It's an expended smoke grenade. It's empty. It's not going to harm anyone. Not a big deal. Here's why I have it, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right. And they're kind of muddling around. in the time that we're talking, I realized they shut down the entire gate's worth of security. So everyone that's just trying to get on their plane are being rerouted to another gate to go through security. And I'm standing there
Thanks,
looking
Jay.
the way I do. Yeah, looking the way I do. And barefoot, holding my laptop, looking around like, man, why is this such a big deal? And so they're like, well, we got to get TSA explosive expert. And I'm like, whatever that is.
I bet they don't have any of those.
No, this dude shows up with like a air tank on his back and a little backpack and a shirt or something like that. Granted, when I was in the military, I built bombs. I worked with explosives.
You should have told him that.
That was the
yeah.
Oh, you did.
No. I didn't.
Helped yourself out there.
I didn't. But
Yo, I used to build bombs.
yeah. Well, so this dude shows up and he's looking at this thing and he's zooming all in on it or whatever, and it's clear as day. Like it's clearly not trying to be hidden. But when you zoom in on it, you can see there's no spoon, there's no pin, there's no fuse. And the way that these smokes work is like there's a big hole in the bottom that the smoke comes out of and little holes at the top. So you can see those holes. And the dude zooming in on it has zero idea what he's looking at. And I'm like, hey, man, not trying to tell you how to do your job, but you can see it's expended. There's nothing there. He's like, well, I can't tell that. I'm like, nope, you can see through it.
Now, is it a security thing that he can't just go into the bag and touch it, or it'll
Well,
go
so
off?
that's what I thought. I was like, well, if you pop the thing open, you'll just see. He's like, no, I can't touch it. I was like, why not? He's like,
Because the terrorist is telling him to open the bag.
yeah,
with the
exactly.
bomb.
Yeah, I'm like, no, please
You
open it, bro.
got you
It's
got
a
an air
trap.
tank on. You're fine.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got no mask or
probably a
anything.
jetpack.
Yeah, he's got no mask. Yeah, that's how he got there.
Yeah.
So he goes,
That's how he was going to
he's like, we need state police. I'm like, all right, dude.
No,
You're
you
the
need
bomb
federal.
guy.
Yeah. Well, he says state police first.
He's bomb enough to know he needs to call someone else.
Dude, Mass State Police shows up.
Great bunch of guys.
I gotta say, your boots are goofy, but you probably already know that. They wear those like horse riding boots.
Yeah.
Whoo, it's goofy.
Oh, man, it's good when you got to kick the shit out of somebody.
That's true. But so they show up, they bring a dog in. Dog, hey, we know it's in there. The dog doesn't even hit on the bag. So they bring in their bomb squad. So I have to wait for EOD. This dude shows up. He's cool. I mean, these guys are being cool to me. There about 17 people took my information and pictures of my ID. So I'm sure somebody is me out there, whatever. I'm for sure on a list. EOD shows up and he's like, why do you have this? He's very stern. Why do you have this? And I explained. And he goes, oh, that's not a big deal. It's expended? I said, yeah. He said, oh, yeah, we get these with airsoft kids all the time. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm like, yeah, I'm one of those or something. Yeah, like anything to get me through, like whatever.
Should have just said it was airsoft, yeah.
I know. Well, it said it wasn't a civilian legal one or whatever, but who cares? But the kicker,
These guys.
Mass State Police
Yeah,
and
yeah.
TSA, maybe?
yeah,
Everybody.
But the kicker is that all this stuff happens. They take it out. Some dude hero has it on his desk for sure, probably saying like, "Oh, stop the second 9/11" or whatever. And they let me go. They're like, "All right, you're good to go." I'm like, "That's it." Because I'm thinking I'm either going to get arrested or fined. And they're like, "No, you're good to go. Not a big deal." I go on my merry way. Thank everyone. Love you guys.
Did you make your flight?
I did make my flight.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
That
I
is incredible.
did make my flight, and then recently,
Nobody else did, but Jay did.
yeah, no one else. Sorry. Recently, I got in the mail a lovely fine from the Department of Homeland Security, Terminal Security, whatever they're called, TSA. So
How much?
it's only $700, and you only have to pay half. It's $700, but you only have to pay half. And they're like, but because it's civil. So I'm thinking this is extortion. You told me I'm good to go, and now on a civil level, you send me a fine for $700, and you go, you only have to pay half of it, and we'll say you're good to go. Sounds like extortion to me. But I'm surely going to pay
I don't
it.
understand the send you a bill for $700, but slide me half.
Yeah, I don't either. But guess what? I'm going to pay it because
Yeah.
I got to go.
Yeah, pay that.
I got to go.
sure.
But I was worried because
Do you lose pre-check now?
I'm not sure. I'd never had it. Like the pre-check thing.
Yeah,
but
we can't all be fucking
yeah,
Kevin Britton.
I'm not rich. But I will say I flew like
Well,
a
that's
couple
a rich guy thing, but I lose it when I get arrested.
I flew a couple months later, or maybe a month, and I flew with guns, and they were chilling. So I'm on a list for sure, but I'm not on that list. I guess
Their list is probably too big now.
I know, but so it was
Well,
cool. I was a
I
domestic
don't know.
terrorist for a day. It was tight.
This is that's self-labeled domestic terrorist.
Yeah,
Oh well, I am.
Self-proclaimed.
I am. I don't know about you, Thomas, but I am both relieved and saddened that he didn't get arrested or strip searched.
Dude, I was thinking this whole time, like when he was telling me the first time, I thought he was like, yeah, and then they stuck their hand in my butthole.
Dude, honestly, I had more issues when I would fly in
You were
uniform.
gonna say you had more hands in your butt.
No, well, no. When I would fly in uniform,
17 guys.
that was always the biggest thing when I would fly when I was in the military, and people would be like, well, what do you do? And you're on the plane, you want to be like, well, I build bombs. But
For
so it's like-
planes.
yeah, so I was like, I build, I build bombs. And they're like, you what? I'm like, I build bombs. I'm like, bombs? Yeah.
Yeah. I've said it before, and I think
Are you going to say this is where the terrorists won?
that out.
Because I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, I think
and I was thinking that. I was thinking of
TSA
you the
is
whole time.
where they won, because I go, I fly every week, and yeah, I mean, it sucks. They really changed our lives, and they created another huge branch of regulatory in our government that has no personal accountability when they fuck up, and it makes everyone's life worse.
And I will say too
And
that
I don't have they ever saved. I mean, if they have saved, like they do have a bomb ass IG. Their IG is tight. It's good.
I haven't seen
you
it.
Following on IG?
No.
They're fucking hilarious.
do they just clap back at people?
Oh,
I like
they
that.
are really great. So it's not them doing it, because
No.
there's no way the government would
Well,
be
that's
cool
the
like
thing
that.
Doesn't
is-
give you any peace of mind. Like I feel
Fuck no. What kind of sheep
Bro,
are you?
blow me up, bro.
it's not
Hey,
about me being a
what do
sheep.
you after 9/11? Forget men and being macho, because I ain't trying to sound macho or anything. After 9/11, a motherfucker gets up and starts yelling at people with a box cutter.
Yeah.
How many housewives? How many moms,
moms.
are going to let that shit slide? Men can just stay in your seats, because I've seen these mama bears at the airport when somebody gets smokes around their kid outside or whatever. Imagine a motherfucker trying that now.
And you're already pissed off on the plane. Yeah, you get stomped out.
Yeah, so it's like, what's the reason now? It's like now what that did was told America, it's like, hey, we gonna have to sell police on these flights. Like what? Yeah, okay. So everybody, what the fuck noise was that?
Dude, I don't know. I'm back.
But like, stay cool. Don't try to kick in the door to the cockpit, and don't set your shoes on fire, and don't stand up with a box cutter.
Johannesburg has the right idea with security. How long does security take in Joburg to go on that domestic flight to
Port Elizabeth?
Port Elizabeth?
Dude, they had me take my hat off. The guys, I walked through the metal detector that's not on, and he goes, take your hat off. As soon as I grab it and take it off, he looks the other way. But yeah, you're good. Look the other I'm like, all right.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just like walk through, no shoes off.
Yeah,
nothing.
I
It's simple.
think the problem with like mass media and like we talked about it when we were having lunch about people y'all's age, like dating apps, and how it's like fucking up the way you relate to people and you date. And like, I don't know. I can't imagine. Well, I don't know. I've seen James approach girls a couple times, so I see how this goes.
Yeah.
But thinking in the terms of just the massive overcorrection every time something happens now. Like Harvey Weinstein was a good example. Harvey Weinstein, undoubtedly a fucking dirtbag, probably did many horrible things, but we overcorrect the whole Me Too movement, which I have daughters, so I care about how women are treated and want them to be treated well. But if you offer to give a BJ for a part in a movie, like, you a hoe. Like you so then we overcorrect, and now like nobody can, all these things happen. It's like now you're more scared to hire women if you own a company. Like all these things, we overcorrect. So now we have to have TSA, which is this overreaching pain in the ass. But the problem with regulatory, whether it's ATF or name it, EPA, TSA, is there at some level, if you can ruin other people's lives, you have to have personal accountability for your decisions, even in a professional setting. Like in the private world, like I do. Like I own a company, and if I fuck up, I can get sued by my employees.
Right.
I can get sued by, like, I have personal accountability. Like I don't have like this shield of government regulatory to where I can fuck your life up and I have no personal accountability. Like,
Remington got
it's
sued
fucked
for
up.
a shooting they had no involvement in.
Yeah, and then what do insurance companies do? They settle, so it's a big deal with attorneys, and so it's like this whole racket where you're screwed, and then you have to have insurance to be able to sell guns to distributors, but then your insurance company can sell these bullshit things rather than fight them, and then your insurance hell in a handbasket, man.
I got no real beef with TSA. I want to be able to fly, but I will say that like during this whole thing, I was just observing how all these TSA agents come over to see what's going on naturally, but they're saying shit like this one lady was like the head of like she's probably
that reminded me of my last TSA story I told on the Silence Your Shop podcast.
She was something. She was like whatever, but she's like trying to tell the whatever their explosives expert guy, whatever that is. She's like, oh, I don't see any wires or anything hanging out, and he was like, well, it's a smoke grenade, so like, why would there be wire? Like, they have no idea what they're talking about. They just want a job. I feel like a prerequisite is to be an asshole. I have encountered a couple TSA agents who were super pleasant, and that
I've
makes it
encountered a lot
so
of good
cool.
ones. But it's I don't know. It's look, everybody needs a job, and I appreciate everybody's ability to earn a living and whatever. But some of it is not good. Did you hear? You probably don't listen to the podcast since you're not. I'm in
the middle of the Silencer Shop one.
Oh, did you hear my TSA story?
Not yet.
Oh, okay then.
If you want to tell it, you can. Oh no, yeah, or don't spoil it. I'll hear it on my way.
Definitely don't tell the story again, like 2 weeks in a row.
Whatever, man. Whatever. Anyway,
Go back to the Silencer Shop podcast and listen. It's a good story.
It's pretty good, but it's just like because I'm always torn. We're talking about like my own personal boundaries and how I don't like understand some things, and it's like the moral of this one is I know enough to not say any more than I have to like law enforcement.
Yeah.
And then also I know not to lie to them.
Right.
And if you ask me a question and I have to answer, anyway, it's in the podcast.
All right, yeah.
It's very good. And the guy was so insulted. I was like, why would you ask that question?
So I heard a story
Yeah?
about how something about anti-poaching squad wrote it. Let's hear about it.
Man, I posted.
Cameroon.
Yeah, so
They're hooked up.
it's, yeah.
I saw some scars.
So it's funny because that's going on in our IG right now too. There's somebody that's really defending Africa and how white people have ruined it, and
True.
They have.
hunting is the reason that there's no animals and colonizing and yeah.
True.
Sure. So, but what about like those remote places where it's kind of untouched and they're all fucked up?
True.
Yeah. Yeah. So we shot a water buck. We're kind of close to a national park. So I hunted a couple properties when I was in Cameroon, and one joined a national park, which, that sounds like kind of strange, but think these blocks of properties are like 1 million acres. So, and the park is like a couple million acres or something. And Cameroon does not do a great job because they're like dealing with terrorism and like civil unrest and all sorts of things. So it's not as focused on anti-poaching and all this as a lot of the other countries like in Southern Africa, where, so much of the livelihood and income and support for every village and community comes from hunting. Like that's what it is. And, but in Western Africa, whether it's the Congo or Nigeria or Cameroon, whatever, there's all kinds of shit going on. Anyway, we shoot a water buck and we get it loaded up, and we're kind of like from the road, we can see the river, and it's shallow. The river's like you can walk across it, but you get wet right now. Huge. Anyway, it's not deep, so the crocs aren't right there and stuff. Anyway, we're washing our hands up, cleaning up, getting ready to drive away, got it loaded up in the cruiser, and these 3 soldiers come walking across the river towards us. And you saw, I posted the picture. They had scars, and they had scars, but also FN SCAR rifles, which was unusual because like Cameroon does not.
Who's hooking them
up? The government does not. Yeah, $3,000 rifle. So, so they walk up and they're real friendly and stuff. And I'm like, one of them's holding a fish that he got out of the river, which was fucking awesome. I don't know if it's in the picture I posted or not. I was like, you fishing and working? He's like, it's trapped between 2 rocks. So, we'll eat it later. Okay, cool, man.
Me too.
And so they turned out to be.
You say me too?
Me too. I was trapped between 2 rocks.
But they were fucking awesome. But before we realized like everything is okay, like nobody's pointed a gun at us or anything yet. And I look beyond the cruiser down the road, and from the other direction, there's 10 guys with guns, other soldiers coming towards us. I was like, and I look at our PH, and I was like, do you know these guys? He says, nope. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So,
Your butt's about to hurt.
Well,
Potentially.
Sold. I was thinking I'm about to get my head cut off on the internet if mom doesn't pay a ransom.
Yeah.
And turns out they were a mixture of several things: anti-poaching, military, and some special operations for and all this. And so it turns out within 15, 20 minutes of shooting something, there are 10 guys there with guns. That's cool. So at least 3 of the animals that I shot, and I posted pictures up, we can post a picture up now, had, when we're gutting them and skinning them out, had buckshot pellets in them already from poaching. And see, a lot of people don't understand, talk about it before, but like in Africa, the animals like belong to the landowner and all. It's not like government. So, but if you're in a national park, they belong to the government. But if you own a big piece of land, like in Georgia and New Hampshire, the deer or whatever, like the government owns them. Right, yeah. They're not yours. It's not that way in Africa. And in some places in Africa, for poaching certain things, like I believe you are probably still shot in certain areas. Not generally where we hunt, but I think that's a thing. And people be, like the woman attacking us right now on the IG. It's like these aren't like. Yeah, like how would you say this? These aren't like colonizers doing it,
right?
So anyway, it's a whole sketchy situation, and turns out they were all cool. Wanted to take selfies with us. Wanted to show me their guns. Like our PH, you realize everything's good, and they're like talking to us. They realize like we're legitimately hunting and supposed to be there. And he's like, oh, he has a gun company. Look at his guns. And it was like showing him on social media. They like show me the scars and stuff, asking me questions about them and like the AK and all. And they're like, can we take pictures with you guys? And we're like, yeah, cool. So anyway.
Did they speak English?
A couple of them did. A few, 2 or 3.
So when they were rolling up, they were like rolling up because they were...
They heard the shot and they thought it was poaching.
Yeah.
And they were unaware because it's like the first day we'd gotten to that camp. And so like word hadn't gotten to them. And so they were out on patrol. Just happened to be like a few kilometers away, heard the shot and came from 2 directions after us. So
that must be kind of spooky at first, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it was because you're out in the middle of nowhere and all of a sudden there's a bunch of dudes with guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
one of the things about the poaching too that obviously it makes sense, but you don't think about it because I think over here when we hear about poaching in other countries, we just hear of this nefarious, we're going to kill all these animals and sell their tusks and this and all that. But when we were over in May, one of the PHs was explaining like there are also people that they got to feed their family. So they'll just shoot something that's out of season or they're illegally there or whatever. And it's like there's a struggle between there's a lack of education because you've said it before, like they don't think of the animals the way that we do. Like sometimes they're pests, sometimes they're just there, whatever. And there's this lack of education of conservation. Like they struggle between, we need to prosecute these people, but we also need to explain to these people like, hey, I understand that you're trying to feed your family, but you can't do it this way.
Yeah. Well, there's so much corruption in most. I know I posted a picture of like one of the poachers' guns and stuff. And
Yo.
That thing's gnarly.
Yo. When I saw that, I showed it to James. Yeah, post that picture up. That thing's wild. How does it even...
It is.
Does it fire? Like
yeah, yeah. So they caught him because he shot an animal. Like the guys rolled... What's going on?
Nothing.
What a fucking rookie, huh?
Well, so the guy shot an animal.
Oh, is it you? Oh.
And Jesus... Trying to tell an important stuff. They shot an animal. They rolled up on him and arrest him. They said it's so corrupt there. It's like he'll pay like $15 to the jail and they'll let him out the next day.
So like probably got bodies.
They had arrested him. They had arrested this guy like several times. So I think some of it. If you're a landowner there and it's like there's a nearby village and they're doing it. If they're doing it for ivory or rhino, or something like that, to where they're selling it to the Chinese, those usually aren't like the local villages that do that. Those are people that come in from other places. And so they really try to go after them. But like if you own a big chunk of property and there's a local village, number one, I mean, we did this when we were there in Cameroon. Like several of the animals that we shot, we were close to one of the local villages and we went there and would give them sometimes the whole animal, the whole, if we... if I was just going to do a skull mount or whatever, we'd give them the whole thing. And so they do that to prevent them from poaching a lot of animals, but if they do it occasionally, they try to talk to them. Like a lot of times it's like, hey, these are trophy animals and these are why these guys come here. It's how we get money. And like all the people from your village that work at our hunting camp, this is how they get paid. So, like don't shoot a giant kudu, shoot a cow or whatever. So a lot of guys don't care, but at the national parks, they generally have zero tolerance for that stuff. And it's like, hey, rather than you wounding all these fucking animals and them going off and dying somewhere, let me know and let me just shoot a couple animals for you and give to you. So that doesn't happen.
Well, Dave,
It's a lot of education.
One of the PHs over there in South Africa, he was talking to me and Jay about a lot of the anti-poaching stuff and how they're being like trained by military.
Yeah,
special
a lot of them
forces
are
and stuff.
ex-military guys.
And like some poaching parties over there are no joke. Like you get into gunfights with these guys.
It's like actually kinetic.
It's like gang violence.
Well, I mean, yeah, they've had it like some of the PHs that I encountered this trip have had it where they hear or the track somebody the staff hears a gunshot go off and they go and investigate and they get shot at by the poachers. So it's a little bit of a hazardous thing. So those guys have to take it seriously. And, and people can say whatever they want, but like in lots of remote Africa, like life is not valued like we consider it in the West. So you have to be careful. But also just the ignorance. I understand people loving elephants and shit like that. And it's, again, back to the woman on IG right now, like eating us up about it. And it's like, well, yeah, so that's a lot of, it's like listening to CNN or just Fox. Like, yeah, that's cool. You can cite all these reports that are like far left about conservation. But I can assure you, like I have spent so much time in Africa and in these villages, if you live in one of these villages and you plant corn, you fucking hate elephants.
yeah. Right.
Like elephants are a nuisance. And they don't want them, just like we talked about with lions. Can you imagine a 500-pound cat living in your yard that'll like eat you and your children? Like you would kill it. So
They do.
Yeah. So they snare them and they kill them. They kill the elephants. But it's like on IG with the lady right now. It's like, oh, native, Africans love elephants and hate that, that they come in and they're hunted and all this. And hunting by white people is what's caused the decline of the population. It's like,
so she's never been there. Huh?
Yeah. So why don't you go spend some time there and spend half your year planning and trying to harvest this corn to feed the village. And a big family of elephants come in there one night and eat it all. Like,
or don't. They just ruin it and then walk away. They don't even eat it.
Yeah.
And then they push your hut over on the way out. Yeah. So it was interesting. We had a lot of interesting times. Like we had to move camps. We were in the far north in the mountains. We had to move camps not quite a week into the hunt because there were, well, they call them rebels, but it's like terrorists. They try to kidnap some of the nomadic herders from Chad. Every year they come in there and do that and hold them for ransom for like $15,000. And the Cameroon trip was crazy. I mean, it was a crazy trip, and it was an adventure of a lifetime, and I'm so glad that I did it. So glad I got to share it with Rad and John. Made some new friends, had like an adventure, a incredibly difficult hunt that had nothing to do with like sort of the dangerous stuff.
Right.
It was just a brutal hunt. And
Would you do it again? Would you go back?
Parts of me, there's no reason I ever want to go back to Cameroon.
Yeah.
It's like, did we talk? We didn't talk about it on here, did we? Being a French colony, or did
we did.
Okay, so then edit that out.
But
bongo. But since I've known about Africa, my favorite animal is the bongo, and it is a hunt I want to do. Like we were talking about with Lord Derby, I don't think you'll be able to do it in 5 years from now because of all the unrest and conservation's not happening, and just it's the government situation and the terrorists getting invasive in these areas, which it's just coincidental, but where these rare animals live in a small pocket of Africa, it's like, geez. So for all these reasons, you won't be able to hunt it. And bongo are in the same place. This was the Savannah, is what they call it, and bongo are in the forest. So in like the thick jungle in the mountains. And
are they just like a bigger bush buck?
Yeah, so we post a picture. It's the coolest animal.
Aren't they like orange?
Yeah, they're orange with stripes. So it's a spiral horn. So like Eland, bushbuck, kudu, like Inyala, all those animals. But it's I would say close to the size of a kudu, maybe a little shorter, but orange with white stripes with these awesome, like big bush looking horns.
I think they got gorillas down in that place where the bongo are.
Yeah, Congo and so
They got like chimpanzees and stuff.
You know what I was hearing about because it was close to where we were. Some of the gorilla tours. And you can see them on IG. Like I follow some page that shows a lot of like whiteys going over there on these gorilla. Like I can't believe people are okay with those giant silverbacks getting so close to them. I'm terrified. Like I'm not scared. Like I respect buffalo, so I'm scared of them to that degree. But like I don't get freaked out. I don't get freaked out.
I do
hunting. Yep, but hunting like danger.
You do.
Yeah,
Dangerous game does not freak me out. Like I haven't done elephant yet, and I think that'll be the scariest one for me. But I'll be fine.
But you've been around them.
Yeah,
You're also the guy with a gun. We don't have guns.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, but you have my love, and I'm gonna let you guys. I'm not gonna let you guys down. Just like you guys don't let me down with the camera sometimes, but I won't with the gun. So anyway,
On the nose.
but the gorillas, like I'm terrified of. I can't believe. But you know what they're telling me? They never show in the video. They don't want to do it. But when they go, for several reasons, some because the gorillas, because sometimes the gorilla goes gorilla.
Yeah.
But also in those areas, it's like it's dangerous, kidnapping and shit like that, and there's terrorists. So what they don't show in all those videos is when you go on those tours, there's 15 dudes with AKs with you.
Yeah.
It's like the anti-poaching. Some of it is generally led by some ex-special forces guys. Those trips, like part of the expense and all, is that. But you have to have security there the whole time.
I'm even surprised because like gorillas in their, what do you call it, troop? Is that something like that?
Well, baboon's a troop. I don't know gorillas.
Well, gorillas, they have like that family
pack, something.
whatever. They
Called
have
group.
that
Yeah.
family dynamic,
Family.
and like
Can you Google that, James?
it's like I'm surprised that you're allowed to have a bunch of people with you to go and see them up close and stuff
Right.
because they're very like like
Dude,
you
did
see another like big group of primate-ish things
Right,
rolling
yeah.
up, you're gonna have a fucking
Yeah.
attitude.
Well,
about
even
it.
like I'm scared of baboons, but like they're little, I'll shoot them,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But if it got a hold of you, but like I don't know how big a silverback gorilla is, but it looks like it's like 800 pounds.
Yeah, they're fucking terrifying. They're monsters.
What is a
It's a troop.
Yeah.
troop?
See?
So all
Did you
the
know
smart.
this could be a Mustangs, New Jersey, but did you know the
animal experts here?
Did you know the crest on their, like that big crest on their head? It's actually so the larger the crest on like a gorilla's head or a primate like that, it signifies or
Crest
it's
meaning a forehead or a
kind of like if you look at a
crown.
gorilla, they've got like that. Yeah, they've got that like big hump crown on top of their head.
yeah.
Apparently, the bigger that is, it's a sign of jaw strength. So their jaw muscles are attached to that, and when they chew, you can actually see the top of their head moving. It's kind of crazy. So these big crowned apes, like their jaws are just insane.
I mean, it's amazing because I know like a 200-pound man can't take a 10-pound monkey. So imagine
Right.
like
Yeah,
a
no.
Well, in the Congo too, because you were saying the bongos in the Congo as well. In the Congo, they have I think it's the Bondo Ape. I could be making that up, but it's something around that. Is it Bondo Ape? Yeah, it's a type of chimpanzee. It's basically just like it's a chimpanzee, but it's the select breed that kind of strayed off, and they're way bigger and they're way more aggressive.
why are you trying to scare me? I'm scared enough of like the
I'd be-
spiders and stuff in the
I'd be
jungle.
way more afraid of that.
They're like chimpanzees, right? Like just massive.
Yeah, they
chimpanzees.
are chimps. They're just much bigger and way more aggressive, and they just
Small
destroy stuff.
chimps are terrifying and will rip
Right.
you apart. Let alone a big man-sized
Well,
one.
I was going back next April for Bongo, but now I'm questioning it.
Another fun fact about chimpanzees specifically, did you know that the size of their bags is a direct correlation to
We're not talking about purses. We're talking about testicles.
Yes, the size of their testicles is a direct correlation.
Why'd you say testicles so weird?
I don't like that word. It's a direct correlation to the promiscuity of the female chimpanzees and their little troop. So the more like hoish the females are, the bigger the balls on an ape. You can look that up.
Sounds made up.
Mustangs in New Jersey. I don't.
Ball bags in Congo. Congo?
I wouldn't fuck with apes if I.
No.
Yeah, no.
No.
Dude, even the little like blue-balled monkeys that we saw, like, yeah, they're small and you could break them, but they're.
I don't know.
If they
I
bite
ain't
you and
trying.
shit, they're gonna jack you up.
Well, I mean, even like a smaller baboon is like, you see the canines and like they're strong as shit.
When we got up to that baboon after I, so
it would have killed
expertly
all
shot
of
it.
us.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
We get
He
up to
wanted
that
a
thing.
skull mount and shot it in the head.
Yeah.
He told me to shoot. I wanted to put it out. When we got up to it, it's a lot bigger than you think, right?
Yeah.
And it was like
It's like your size.
It was a full grown. It was a little bit smaller than me.
It was a little smaller.
But you don't like really realize how big they are when they're so far away. When you're like taking like pop shots at them at like 600 yards just for fun. But when you get them, when you cut that out,
They're a nuisance. That's
Yeah.
why we shoot them.
yeah. But they're actually like a lot bigger. And when we got up to it, I wouldn't touch it. I told Jay to touch it. And when he lifted it up
we
underneath
made him
the
hold
armpits,
it.
Yeah, I grabbed it. I grabbed it like a small child.
it
and was
was
like,
so disturbing.
Remember we made him hold the mouth?
Oh, yeah.
He was
Put
like,
sticks in
Hey,
it.
put the picture of
most
me up there.
uncomfortable I've ever seen.
And see how uncomfortable I look. I'm like not even like
Yeah, you're
close
like
to it.
next to it.
And it's like bleeding all over my arm, and that's all I can think about was the fact that I'm like got monkey blood on my arm, and I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Well, it's something we should probably say here. Like it is interesting being in other places. Like when I was in Cameroon, out they had baboons there. They are twice the size. They were some thugs, and they don't really shoot many there. You can, but they don't. So there's not like a huge population carrying capacity of the animals there, and they've been just so shot to shit by poaching. There's not a ton of animals, but there were a lot of baboons, and twice the size of any I've ever seen in the Eastern Cape. Yeah, and they don't, they're not shot at much, so they don't really run from you.
Right.
And but like at Crusader in the Eastern Cape, like the Pringle family, like most of the family, raise cattle and sheep. Well, that's why they shoot all the baboons right there around Andrew, is because that his brother like raises the most sheep of or whatever breeds sells whatever the hell. He's got the most sheep, and the baboons. So when they're dropping their babies, the ewes or what, lambs. There we go.
Is it
That's the
lambs?
way
Yeah, it's a lamb. Yeah.
It's a lamb.
Yeah, so that's like the favorite thing for baboons. They go down there and like get them all. So
Yeah.
that's
They'll-
why.
yeah.
So that's why they started shooting all the baboons.
They'll rip the lamb like right out of the.
Yeah.
and tear it in half.
Yeah,
and start
they
chewing.
rip open its stomach and drink the milk out of the lamb's stomach.
when they're pregnant. Yeah,
Yeah.
they kill
And
them
that's
both.
and that's why I was so like
They're
I was
brutal.
after a baboon
Yeah.
because I was a warrior for the sheep. Sheep warrior. I was bringing justice to the tribe.
I don't know if I've never seen the footage. I know you said there was footage not related to baboons, but I was thinking about it recently. Stitch fighting that warthog.
Dude, hey, put that up.
Dude.
She's vicious.
And Rad had to he's not abusing his dog, but she was latched
Yeah.
onto that
She's
warthog
a
and
parson.
you were going to shoot it.
Oh yeah,
and,
and I couldn't.
and Rad
she
had
was
to,
on
he
it.
threw a rock like toward her so she would get off the warthog so you could
forgot
shoot
about
it.
that.
And
And
he
I-
shot it in the face and snapped its
I
neck.
have it in slow motion, which we should be putting it up in slow motion.
Oh, did I shoot it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you shot
dude,
the tusk
it's-
off first.
Yeah, and then you shut it right here, and it just went, and then it like in slow motion, the blood's just like squirting out.
I don't even remember. I remember Stitch
Yeah.
being on the pig and I couldn't shoot.
You ever
You were like
seen-
10 feet from it.
You ever seen The Lion King?
I think I've seen it once, maybe.
You've seen The Lion King? Well, at the end,
I might not remember this
Simba,
part.
main character, and his uncle Scar are fighting in slow motion, and it's fantastic. It's epic.
I'll watch it.
But this video of Stitch and the warthog fighting in slow motion is unreal.
She's insanely vicious. And for those listening, I've heard before, Stitch is Rad, our PH professional hunter in Africa, his dog. And she's a little Parsons Terrier, which is like a...
Kind of like a Jack Russell.
Yeah, Jack Russell or...
Yeah.
whatever. She's just black and white.
She's very small.
Yeah.
She is small, but she is not afraid of anything on the fucking planet.
And it's cool to see because, like, a lot of the time, she doesn't really get to do her job. She's cruising around. She's, like, kind of annoying from time to time.
Yeah.
I like her. We get along. But to see her in action and just...
Yeah, it makes
she
you love
didn't-
her.
It's a hog with swords on its face, and she did not care.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, and she's a tracking dog. So generally, if you win something or whatever, it goes in the bush. She helps you to find it. But yeah, because actually bush buck are the most dangerous thing for dogs. Like they kill the most because they're actually aggressive and they have the shorter horns that are generally
Super
very
sharp,
sharp. And she is not afraid of those. Like I saw her grab a kudu. We saw her grab the warthog. Like she will go after any animal.
Yeah.
And like you have to be careful. Yeah. Around like if you shoot a baboon and wound it, like you have to hold her because like they could just rip her in half.
100%.
And she won't care. She'll go after him.
Yeah. Yeah, she has no fear.
Yeah. That was a cool
Yeah,
thing.
she's a little afraid of your drone though.
Yo, I don't know if she's afraid of the drone.
No, she
just
Remember that
hates
time when
thing.
she grabbed it and
Yeah.
slammed it and it bit her and she
She hates it.
put that one up too. Fuck it. Yeah, I have that footage of her jumping up, and you see her little face in the camera, and then the drone goes down. Yeah, that was a good time. But you were like throwing rocks, or no, Rad was throwing rocks at her to try to get her away so you can take a shot at this thing.
Oh, I can't see. That's one interesting thing about this. I'm very spoiled and very fortunate, and I'm very grateful for my life and being able to go on these hunts. And then I realized, like into it a few years ago, like I want to make the Fix like the next greatest hunting rifle in the world. And so, how do we do that? And that also coincides with talking about testing ammo and testing 8.6 go shoot animals. But I forget so many that having them videoed is so important now, and it's so easy to do. Like, why would you not do that? Because we're discussing this, and I remember a time when we're together, and I remember Rad throwing rocks at her and stuff when she was on a pig, but I don't even remember shooting the pig, so I can't wait to see the footage. Like, I don't even remember it now.
first.
I don't know why we never like put that together.
I don't know either.
'Cause
Unless it was like vicious.
No, it
or
was
something.
I don't know if you remember, but it was like a strange. We like saw it while we were driving.
It was, and we had to jump. I was like, "Do you want me to go?" And you're
Remember
like,
any
"No,
of
they're
this?
too close." So you jumped the fence.
Yeah.
I stood at the fence, and then
Yeah.
you ran down. But it was a weird thing. It was just like we happened to see it because Rad allegedly saw the biggest warthog in his he's
right.
ever seen.
Oh, it was that same day where we sat in the woods
Yeah.
on the side of the road for 2 hours,
And there was
because,
no pigs.
Yeah, because Rad saw the biggest pig he's ever seen, and we're sitting there.
He likes them.
Yeah, and it's funny in those moments because Kevin doesn't really like to like sit around. He's like he gets really ADD about sitting around when nothing's going on. I mean, he's patient, but after a certain period of
when there's
time-
Yeah, I
nothing
can
there,
be
there's nothing
patient
there.
if we're stalking
Yeah.
or we're on something,
Right.
but just sitting around there, it's like
with no promise of anything.
Dude, and it was just hopping from one side of the road to the other
Well,
for
it's-
like a mile.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think that's part of like I guess I trophy hunt, but I don't trophy hunt in the sense of I generally don't go out with specific mission or I mean, like I don't measure horns or antlers. Like I want to shoot like animals past their prime, the ones you should harvest, but like I don't care. So for me, yeah, it's like if we have a great hunt, I'll spend all day doing it. But to sit around there for maybe I'm just not about that life.
Were you saying they still that you're? I would assume you're going to try to shoot it if it's still there this time. That there's they saw a kudu with one of its horns takes a 90 and wraps itself around the other horn.
Yeah, so I saw it too.
Oh.
So they showed me pictures and they talked about it. So it's this one's normal.
Yeah.
And this one comes up and goes over and wraps around
That's awesome.
that horn. And so Andrew and I, one of the PHs or somebody on staff saw it on part of the ranch. It's free range, so like,
Right.
you don't know. And so Andrew and I go for a few days, and finally on like my last day there, we spot it. And I thought I told this, maybe I didn't. So Andrew spots it. I have Bino spot it. I have to get up kind of on this ridge, get set up on this rock, and it's walking just like perpendicular to us. By the time I get set up, it's 350, 360 yards, and it's just walking. It's
that's
with
not
another
bad.
bull.
Yeah.
So I can take that shot walking because, you said it. We can all shoot. I'm a baller.
Yeah.
No. So I'm not afraid of that shot at that distance. And I get set up, and about the time I start squeezing the trigger, like they never knew we were there, and for whatever reason, 9-degree turn, went away from us. And so I'm like, oh, it'll stop. So Andrew tries to stop it. It'll stop. So I'm at like 470. I'm like, I can still make this shot. It'll stop. And then they just like start trotting. And at 770 yards or something, it goes over the hill and disappears. Never gave me a shot. And if I had been 1 second faster, I would have shot it. And so then we go after it. We could never spent the rest of the day, could never get on it again.
Let's go get it.
Well, we're going to. So that's what I'm doing in a month from now. I'll be back. No one has hunted it. No one's allowed to shoot that one allegedly.
You gotta wait for me and James. You have to. That's got to be on tape, especially now that you're talking about it publicly.
I got Dave.
You got Dave.
Safari Dave.
I love Dave.
You guys can
Dave,
go.
you're a good man, but you need the A team on this one.
Sorry they said that, Dave. I consider you part of the A team.
Dave, you
too. Me too, Dave.
always welcome, but like
Yeah, you guys should totally go.
We're gonna
talk
go.
to Christine about it, and everything's fine.
we are planning to go for end of April, early May, but you have to wait. And if you don't wait, I'm gonna be bummed out, dude.
Ooh.
Because now we have
learn to live with disappointment.
now we have a fucking storyline. Yeah.
Well, there's another one. So there's another one. So at Rad's house in Natal in Umkamas, there is a skew horn, but it might be an over 60-inch kudu, and it was probably too young to shoot last year, but it's good now. It has the biggest curls I've ever seen. We can post a picture of that right now too. I have it.
Oh, you've seen this one with
I've seen pictures. They've seen it a bunch of times, so they haven't let anybody shoot it in case we wanted to hunt it. And it is a monster.
Wow.
So that's cool. What else?
Do you know I've never shot a pig? I'm just like thinking about I've shot stuff in Africa and I've never shot a pig.
What did you shoot now? You shot an impala.
Yeah, and also
Oh, and like 30 wildebeest and blessbuck.
Blessbuck.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
per that video, Springbok.
That's
what,
right.
what video?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Roll the video.
No,
We can. No, there's footage. There's blown out footage of me shooting an Impala too. There's probably a kill shot. I think as we said.
Yeah, we got it. Post it up.
He's just starting to walk out.
Yeah.
Okay. And especially if he doesn't give it to him, he'll give it eventually.
I got him.
There he goes. He stopped, right?
I see him.
Can you see him standing there? He's broadside. He's falling over.
Nick filmed me shooting Impala. 240, 5.56 through the chest. 70 grain. I don't know what it was. I think Sheriff of Baghdad gave us some ammo. I don't know what it was. It was
The 70 grain Barnes. So
Yeah.
that's very good stuff. It was designed for the 416 10-inch barrel guns.
I would have edited that together because it's pretty good.
But it was on that hard drive.
No,
where you
no,
didn't
I
back
have
it
it.
up?
No, I have it. Nick,
the ISO was cranked.
but Nick was using the camera, so it's like just pure white, like the whole thing. So it's not really something that.
But he recognized it because he did fix it at one point.
Yeah. He did fix it at some point.
Dude, I took the mini fix on my last hunt over there at 223 with a
Crushes.
12 or 13-inch barrel and that 70 grain Barnes. Oh.
What'd you shoot with it?
Well, I don't remember everything, but the thing that does stick out in my mind, we're going past like the lands where Andrew's brother has all the sheep. And so if you see pigs out there or baboons, you shoot them.
Yeah.
That's kind of the deal. There are two pigs, 367, two of them together, 2 shots, bam, bam, done.
It's so sick. That's the perfect gun.
Was this the sub-def one?
Green one?
No,
Green
no,
one?
no. I didn't want anything to happen to that one. Get over there and like lose that thing in
That
customs in
thing's
Africa.
so sexy. Oh,
No, it's I converted my 300 blackout,
I see.
and so yeah, I had the Swaro 1-8 on there, and but I couldn't believe because the pigs are tough and they're not small, and that 5.56 short barrel dropped him. But I did ask old Sheriff Baghdad. I said, at what distance out of a short barrel can I expect some terminal performance? He's like, I can testify to 450. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, we tried to recover the bullet from the Impala that I shot. It was straight on. I shot it through the chest and it pumped through the heart. And it fragmented. We couldn't find a solid bullet, but
Shouldn't fragment. But I
Well,
did.
tore
I
apart.
recovered one. I have it in my. I have it over in Africa. I recovered one of the bullets from one of the pigs.
yeah,
Yep.
we tried.
Perfect little mushroom.
They
It
took the
worked great.
wand out and everything. Couldn't find it.
Oh, the little metal detectors.
Yeah, maybe it came out of his butt. I don't know.
You were pretty close though. It was
240.
Yeah. Wasn't that?
Oh, that's not that. That's a good shot.
Yeah.
I felt bad because Paul he couldn't see it. I was with Paul, and he couldn't see it, but he's like telling me, he's like, it'll step out us, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, I see it, but I didn't want to yell. I'm like, no, I got it, dude. So I was on it.
Can't shoot it from here.
Eventually, I'm just like, I can make this shot. So, and Mitch was he was like, the last time he said, he's like 240. Mitch was there, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot it, and crushed it.
I'm disappointed
Such
that
a
you
good
didn't
feeling.
do your Paul impression when you were talking. Like,
Yeah, I have to hear him talk first. I know it's. I'd have to hear it first. Dude, what's that
Remember,
video?
he was snoring so loud. He was on the couch right behind you when he
Oh,
shot
yeah.
the baboon. He didn't even wake up. He just
yeah.
kept snoring.
That's
Dude,
right.
what was that video
The
where
Mitch video where he shot
Yes.
it at 400 or
he's like, how far is that? And someone's like, yeah, it's like 400. What's the farthest shot I've ever seen in my life?
That's very good.
Yeah, we're like,
we'll
that's-
roll that clip.
That's the longest I've ever had anyone shoot anything in my whole life.
It was not that far.
Dude, no, he shot that caracal at like
Yeah, in the
570 or something.
Yeah, so that was before that.
Oh, it's a
because
different animal.
This was like a blessed buck or something, I think.
yeah, this
and it was like a layup for these
No,
guys.
It was a mountain reed buck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Small animal.
mountain reed
Yeah.
buck at 350 or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
But like
that's
for
a
those
chip
dudes, it's a
shot for
layup.
Mitch.
This
Yeah.
was before the caracal, which was incredible.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, Mitch is no joke with that.
But
gun.
I
Boy,
think
can
Paul,
shoot.
because the other dudes, the other PHs they understand now that like the Q guys can shoot. But I think Paul just hadn't seen it. So he sees a 350 yard
'cause-
shot on that. He's like, oh my God.
And this little ridiculous gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love when people become like they at first are like nah,
Yeah.
with the fix or
And
whatever.
then it becomes a game to them.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, it's 800. You think you can shoot it?
Yeah,
And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
dude, we're going to
exactly.
go
It
closer.
is. I mean, it changes lives and it changes all their opinions. Because Rad, we're so close now. He tells me like when you first showed up with that gun, I was like, "What the stupid? Like that's not appropriate gun for hunting over here." And all he says now is, so he's got a. You okay, Bob?
You're
Yeah,
right.
living.
You gonna throw up on the table?
No, it's trying to be covert. dude.
So Rad got a fix, and it's in Africa now. But it's like a months and months transfer process to go to him. He is so excited. He talks to me about it every single day. He can't wait to start hunting with it. What the hell was I gonna?
We're talking about shoot far.
shooting. Talking about I was so proud of myself. We're over there, and so the PH is like talking to Rad, and he's like, normally, these situations, we're careful about shooting, blah blah blah, and he's kind of leaving it a little open ended, and then he finally like asked Rad, he's like, well, you've hunted with Kevin a lot, what would you let him do in these scenarios? And and Rad was like. If Kevin tells you that he can shoot it, just shut up and let him shoot it.
Get him within a kilometer and he'll shoot it.
And I was like, oh, Rad, that's so nice. I didn't know like how I shoot compared to like the rest of your clients and stuff. He's like, well, you shoot faster and better than anybody I've ever hunted with.
Yeah.
He's like, a lot of your guys shoot really well. And he's like, Mitch, no, all these things. But he's like, you shoot so fast, I'm never ready.
You're also like you also take
I'm
risks.
so proud.
Right, yeah.
You take
You're
a lot
willing
of risks,
to- yeah, you're willing
and
to-
you're willing to do such a thing. Some guys are very like cautious and careful, but you like, I mean, sometimes it hasn't
Unhinged.
worked. Sometimes it hasn't worked out, but a lot of the time, for the most part, like you hit these like crazy shots that nobody expects you to hit. It's cool.
But I mean, that's honestly like, I mean, you skate too. So it's probably like, I feel like there's a similar mentality with that where it's like, you just have to know in your head you can do it. And you just commit to it and you do it and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. Like I always, what is it? Like fake it till you make it or fake it till you
Yeah.
find it or whatever.
There's the first one.
Grind it till you find it.
Yeah. Bank shot off the leg, huh? There's sometimes I'm very confident when I take the shot, but generally I think that's part of the thing I love about hunting is like it can all go wrong. And that's the exciting part. I don't know, it even sounds kind of ridiculous to say, but I always know it's possible, and I want to convince myself absolutely I can do this every time. I think I'm better at that than most people are. I lie to myself, basically is what I'm saying.
My favorite thing is when you go, I can't believe I made that shot. That's my fucking favorite. It's like,
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes like the only opportunity you have, like the kudu video that we just posted. I love that where he flips down the hill and like chucks the little part of the bush up in the air. But you can't really tell in that video, and that's definitely not the farthest shot I've ever taken. But it wasn't close. But like through my scope, I only had about this much, a hole about that big through the branches in the tree to put that shot. And so that's a shot, even though it's probably only a third as long as like my longest shot there, that's one that I'm most proud of. Because before that, I took a shot on it on that kudu at a closer range with 8.6 and I missed. I shot just over it. It was with Subsonic in a short barrel and it was kind of a far shot, but I was fully confident on that shot with the 8.6, and I think what happened, and I probably just blew it, but I've shot enough with that to where I'm pretty confident. But I think what happened, it was in some bushes, and I was lobbing it in over the bush on it. So it was obscured. But I think when we ranged a bush, and it wasn't as close to the bush, or it was closer than we thought. Like something got screwed up with the ranging, and I think they thought I went over, and I think I went under or something. Anyway, but the point of that was, so I do that, and the herd starts running, and so they're out of range for the 8.6. So I throw the 8.6 in the truck. I grab the 6.5 out, get set up. So I just blown a shot. Things are going fucking haywire. The herd's running. Everything's going on. We're on a mountain, and I had to convince myself, okay, get another gun, convince myself, and then make a shot through a little gap. So that made it for me personally, that was a challenge I was proud of, because it's every time something goes wrong, trying to stay calm and focus and do the right thing to be successful in that. And yeah, so that was a good one. I like that hunt a lot.
You were there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could take a kudu. I think I want to.
Yeah,
next time I go.
My man comes to me and he's like, Thomas, so cool. He's like, yeah, man, think I'm gonna saving up. I'm gonna shoot a kudu next time I go, if you don't mind. He's like, yeah, that's good. But I just want to be in the moment, so I don't want to be filmed.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be filmed.
And I was like, oh, well, see, funny thing about that, because you're going on Q's dying, and we film shit when we go. That's how we justify this. This isn't some fucking woosai moment for you. Eat a dick.
If I pay for it, why does it matter? If I pay for the hunt, I can't go and have my cathartic moment.
No, because I'm paying for the travel and all the other things, and you get to film everything I do and make these funny videos, me fucking up stuff. And no, it's we're gonna document it, because you're gonna have this little moment with you in nature. But in
don't say it like that.
Yeah, you just
Don't
sound
say it
like
it's
such an idiot. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But this is wisdom talking, all right? Because I was a young Thundercat once.
Yo.
Shout out Baker, whatever the fucking Thundercat is. But
what's wrong with wanting to have a purely pure moment out there on my first actual hunt, right? With something as majestic as a kudu.
But what you're saying is, I think, the opposite of what most people are saying, where it's because they want to have that physical memory to show people what it, I think.
So this is what I was going to say. This is wisdom. Number one, it's a work trip, so fuck off. Number two, in 30 years from now, you got a little grandkid, you're getting the Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas. You're like, my man, I'm going to take you to Africa. We're going to hunt. I remember my first hunt. It was a kudu. And so rather than you trying to remember, you're going to be like, my man, watch this video. Look at Grandpa. That's what's up. That's why it's for other people. It's not for you.
Right. And I think it's...
You're going to show your mom and your dad?
You can say this, the excuse of it being a work trip and all this stuff. But I think that you want it. I think you want the video of me doing it.
Yeah,
I think it's for you, and I think that's fine. But because it wouldn't be for
whatever.
But at the same time, it's I don't know. I just in my mind, I think nothing would be cooler is if it was you, me, and Rad, and actually doing it. Because every time I've been on a hunt, I've had a camera in my hands. I've worried about the shot. I've worried about. And if there's there's cameras near me, I'm going to be thinking about the cameras, and that's just something that's in me, right? So
put it out of your mind.
But that's the thing is I just want to
it's a job. I
want to have
this ain't summer camp for Kevin's privileged white kids.
I want to feel what it's like to actually go out and do it without having to think about did you get the shot or is
know how I did mine the first time? I worked really hard and I saved up money and I took myself. So suck it. So no, you think I'm not going to have a video of sweet little Thomas holding those beautiful kudu horns, looking at it, crying like a baby, kissing
Shaking
it on the forehead, telling it it's going to be okay.
All the adrenaline down.
No, we're getting the video.
All right.
But it's going to be epic. You're going to love it, and you're going to love being able to show little grandbaby Thomas the Fourth.
I really just would
kudu
want to
hunt.
show. I think I'd want to show my dad, and that's kind of that's all I would care about. I think my dad would get kicked.
Well, you say that now. Wait till you're 50.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, whatever. I that's fine. I don't get to have what I want. That's fine. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone listening that loves hunting is going to feel very sorry for you.
I think there's a lot of people that's out there that's gonna like kind of relate to that. I think they want to. Sometimes you just want a peaceful kind of like grounding with.
I feel like you can do
Your
that
surroundings.
here, though.
Do you teach yoga or something?
I should. Fucking should, man. I'm fucking spiritual out here.
On the search for that intimate moment.
I know.
Yeah.
You got any crystals on you?
You know, who's asking? What are you, the police?
Spiritual police? What other kind of weird shit are you into?
Oh man, you don't even need to know.
Don't
bro.
ask that.
Oh Jay, you know me too well.
No, but I can't wait. I want you to do it. And I'm sorry you don't get 100% your way, but that's also known as life.
That's cool, man. Sure,
This is a lesson you're being taught.
but I'll remember that. I'll remember it.
You're going to remember it because we're going to have it videoed. You're going to be so excited.
When you're old and sick, and I'm feeding you soup, and you're gonna want that next.
I'm going to know
Put
I
on the
failed.
kudu hunt.
I failed at life.
You're gonna want something really bad. And like, well, you see, we can't always have what we want.
I mean, no shit. You're feeding me instead of some like hottie with no top on.
What are you talking about? He might have his shirt off.
Ugh.
What do you mean? Ugh?
Full chest hair soup.
Oh.
That sounds great.
Yeah, well, you should have let me have that fucking my moment. And
Filmless hunt.
whatever. Yeah, so you, my friend,
Here I am.
you're going to Iraq?
Yeah. Going to Iraq.
Baghdaddy, what's
Getting
up?
drafted. No, I'm going
To
do,
what?
To the war. No, I'm going for a couple projects. Gonna do like a written piece on some people there that are very ancient religion that kind of got not wiped out, but pushed out when ISIS was big over in whole Iraq. And then I'm gonna do.
There's some of them still around.
Yeah, so once ISIS kind of got wiped out in 2017 in Mosul, there was a big fight for Mosul. ISIS basically was wiped out. There's still little pockets here and there, little cells, but it's the Yazidi people is what they're called. The religion is the Yazidi religion, and you can't join the Yazidi religion. You have to be born into it. So they're a tiny population, and they live in northern Iraqi Kurdistan. And so once ISIS was kind of wiped out, they moved back. They live up in the mountains and stuff. It's a really cool.
Oh, you love the mountains.
Love the mountains.
Should be an easy hike.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Cunts.
Yeah, it'll be
Fucking
great.
cunts, can y'all live at the bottom?
Yeah, it'll be great. So there's not a ton of. I mean, you can find out information about them, but a lot of it is just other people reporting on what they heard about this. But so I'm just going to go talk to them and try to hear what life has been like since coming back. They're able to.
Well, how'd you hear about them?
Through like a random travel like YouTube years ago. Yeah, the TSA during my interrogation. No, it was like a random travel. This is a trip I've wanted to do for a while, and just have the means to do it now. And then I'm doing another project while I'm there. It's still kind of top secret, but that's going to be really cool. So I'm going for a couple of things. I'm not going for too long, but I have a contact out there, and she's really cool. It's a female-owned. She's the first female-owned like guide company out in the country, like in Iraq, and it's her 10-year anniversary in March. So I'm gonna try to do a piece on her too, and just kind of because that's like a big deal having a female.
Yeah, no, that's
out there.
cool. Those are the stories I like to hear.
Yeah.
Like I'm over this some of this American shit, but
Yeah,
people who are actually suffering.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know.
And I mean it's been.
I know that I'm going to
love
try
the
to get
news.
in there. In next to Erbil, there's a huge refugee camp from all the people that were displaced during ISIS. And it's not even that they were necessarily displaced, but a lot of the families, ISIS would come through, take the men, and basically force the men to fight with them. So the men die or whatever, and the women are left with the children and all that stuff, and they can't afford to live where they live, whatever. So they're in these refugee camps. And there's a lot of stuff going on, and you don't really hear about it, so I kind of just want to see what's going on.
That's so cool. So it'll be. Well, how will it be published? Will it be online or?
Yeah, the Yazidi thing. I think Field Ethos is going to put out the Yazidi.
Oh, that's awesome.
Article. Yeah, so
Yeah, their journals are cool.
yeah. So I talked with Jason and kind of pitched the idea to him, and he's like, "Yeah, that's really cool. Like, we'll try to help you get it done and see what happens." So the other project is going to be through another company. It's not settled yet. It's not like official. It's just kind of we're going to figure out how to distribute it or whatever, but it'll be through another company, and we'll see how that goes. But once it's done, I'll let everyone know. That it's like there's a lot of work to be tackled, and I'm more stressed about that than like running into ISIS.
Yeah, I get that.
But
Well, the logistics, how do you get to Iraq?
so you can fly. So Iraq right now is split in the north and south. So the north of Iraq it's Iraqi Kurdistan. So it's not officially its own country, but Iraq is basically like, hey, you guys beat ISIS, like we'll let you kind of have your own area. So you can fly into Erbil. You can also fly into Baghdad. There's 2 different visas you get. There's federal Iraq and then there's Kurdistan. And you can just get it upon arrival. So I'll fly. I think my connection is probably in Turkey, which sucks, but there's a connection. So it's not a direct flight, but I'll fly into Erbil and then spend time there. And I'd like to get into federal Iraq as well. Check out.
You going to stop, since you're flying into Turkey, going to go there and do anything since you're on the road?
I don't think so.
Spend some time there?
I don't think so.
I heard it's great there. Well,
yeah, I've
a
heard it's
friend-
beautiful. Yeah, I've heard it's really. I mean, right now it's probably not the most beautiful. They just had that massive earthquake,
Oh,
but
that's true. Yeah, it's all screwed up.
and it's such like a catch-22 almost, because it's like just like anywhere else, the people are the people, but like we've known for the last decade that the Turkish government sucks. Like they were direct sponsors to ISIS. Like when ISIS was wiping these Kurds out or trying to wipe the Kurds out.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to go there now.
Yeah, I know.
Now that you're saying how bad they suck.
Yeah, come at me, Turkey. No, I mean, again, it's just like how
You
everything.
turkey.
Yeah, you turkey. It's just how everything goes. You know, the people are the people, but the guy, it's whatever. It's not. I've heard the people are great.
Well, are you gonna do something with this beard situation before you go?
Keep growing it. Wear some
Bold.
pajamas and stuff.
Bold
Yeah,
call,
I know.
man.
I know. But
So you're gonna be with a tour guide for most of it, and then are you gonna be like alone in town?
yeah,
Like, just
yeah.
cruise?
So her company basically, for whenever I want it, I just kind of let her know, hey, on this day I want like the full service, which is a driver and an interpreter. And the thing about her being licensed, there are other guide companies that don't have licenses. You can book them; they're on TripAdvisor or whatever, but they're not licensed through whatever, maybe the government. So her having a license means I can go anywhere basically. Like she can get me through the checkpoints, all this stuff with no issues. Like she's a licensed person. She has a zone she can work in. And then the misconception I think about Iraq right now is that it's a war zone still, but it's, from what I've seen and the people I've talked to have been recently, it's super up and coming. The crime is super, super low there. Their big thing is they want to show people that it's safe. Like we need people to come here and help us have businesses. Like we need to be able to sell our goods and do all these things. And they want to show people that it's safe. So I'm sure I'll get some of that out and across to people and figure that out.
Gonna go after an ibex or anything in the mountains?
I want to go to Afghanistan for that and so many other things so bad, but like Afghanistan's gnarly right now. But I do have a contact there, and
And they have those big mountains.
they do have the mountains. Yeah,
Just saying, my
it would be
man.
so cool to shoot an ibex there.
Yeah, you're not shooting one from the bottom of those mountains.
No. But so that's the project I have coming up. The most recent project
so
I did
cool.
was I'm so excited, but I hope by the time this is out, it's done and we can I can link it or something. Send you guys a link. But I did a link. I did
Don't send us that.
in October of last year. I did a motorcycle trip with a bunch of dudes, and it was cool because it stemmed from just my buddy that I've met through the industry, and just him and I deciding we wanted to go on a motorcycle trip, and realizing he's an insane cinema camera operator, and we just kind of realized hey, what we want to do is getting kind of pricey. Why don't we try to get companies to sponsor it? So we just created a pitch deck and pitched ideas to all these companies, and we didn't really have a leg to stand on. We're just hey, we're these two shithead kids that want to do this thing, and companies responded. Vertex sponsored it. Yeti sent us stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, we got basically everything covered. The motorcycles, the rental, all this stuff. We were able to take, DEF CON was involved, the shoes,
Yeah.
Half Face Blades, Vertex, Tack on Fit, all these companies. And we made a whole film. We gave deliverables to all the different companies, but we made this whole film, and the film, as we're recording, is not finished. But hopefully, as this episode is out, will be finished, and super excited about that. We have my dad was able to like come and drive the support vehicle on it, which
for
was
real?
which was cool because like we got to do this trip, and it was good to get him out.
It's an
hang with the
adventure,
boys.
man. It's
You know what his biggest contribution was?
his Jay or his dad?
Jay. Drone operator.
Yeah, I've logged since just because I've got like
We should have sponsored it with stickers.
you should have.
Yeah.
Any drone work you see in these films that I'm going to send you guys links to, any drone work, it's your boy.
I love all my children, and I remember baby Jay when we get our first drone, go out the range, and his very first flight.
Yeah, smoked it.
It
Day
was
one.
it was his second flight. Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
my version's.
His
better.
first flight was my first flight.
day
too.
one it was the first flight.
Are you
of
licensed
the
now, or did you
Concorde.
totally pirate?
I'm not. No, I'm not licensed, but I've got some
Pirate life.
hours. Yeah, I've got some hours on it.
He's probably got more hours than I do now.
Yeah, I've flown a drone a lot recently, but
Are you licensed?
I'm not licensed. Q has not sent me to class, which I think they should
Okay,
because
so
it's illegal to
Edit
fly a
all,
drone.
we'll just edit all that out. Since we're blaming Q right
Yeah, I
away.
know. We're licensed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
In Africa,
Yeah.
do you have to be?
I
don't know.
There's a lot of places in the United States you have to be
Yeah.
licensed.
Well, I knew that,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I don't care if you guys fly them here.
yeah.
yeah,
I fucking love flying drones.
yeah. We flew a bunch of drones.
Yeah. I like flying drones over herds of wildebeest
Yeah, me too.
as they're running. That's like my favorite thing I've ever done in my life.
I don't know if it's gonna make the cut in the video,
Little.
but there was we were on the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Says the guy who's never flown with the wildebeest. Damn.
Well, we were on that. Well, so also the premise of this trip that I didn't touch was the lads were out. We'd spent a week just on the road, and
Lads,
the boys.
your friends. Oh,
Yeah, so we just spent a week on the road, and we just camped the whole way. So it was like,
Cheers.
yeah. Cheers, yeah.
The lads.
Yeah, the lads.
Jeez, you lost me. Why did you throw lads out? Tell me that part again so I can listen.
The trip was, it literally was just, we're going on this week-long motorcycle trip, and we're just going to, out in the West, and we're just going to camp the whole way. So that's what it was. And we had a support vehicle, and it was just honestly, like, and I mean, I don't have to tell you and most of the people watching, but like, adventure is so important, and going on adventure is just like, I can't imagine living a life where I got like married at 21 and sell insurance, and my idea of an adventure is every year me and the wife and the kid go to some all-inclusive hotel in the Bahamas. Like that
You're
sounds
causing
so,
me anxiety just talking about
I
it.
know it sounds so insane.
Thankfully, the other part of my mind is thinking about you and the lads.
Me and the
all
lads.
wearing like golf outfits.
No, I wish.
With, like short pants.
Dude,
and
it was,
stuff.
but this trip was great because the crew was perfect. It was the riders were myself, Austin, the guy that I set it up with. He runs Broken Arrow Creative. We had one of the owners of DEF CON, and then Andy Arabito from Half Face Blades. We were all riding, and we had 3 guys in the support vehicle. We had 2 drivers, including my elderly father, and another camera guy. And it was chaos the whole time, which was all I could ask for.
That's the name of this podcast, Lads and Chaos.
Lads and chaos.
So Jay
Adventure for the times.
Jay didn't mention that he crashed his bike.
Dude.
And please,
First the drone, now the
when
bike.
he's done with, while he's talking about this story, you got to put up some photos that he's going to send you.
Yeah, I'll send you some photos.
Yeah.
Dude, okay. Let me preface this with
It must not have been that bad if we're laughing about it.
I really hope that the film is out by the time this comes out, because so Eagle Rider we rented our bikes from Eagle Rider, one of the biggest bike rental places in the country.
Oh,
They
is
hooked it
this
up-
not something that we can talk about?
No, this is fine.
Okay.
No. I'm just revealing my own secrets. So Eagle Rider hooked it up, it was tight, everything was great. Everyone on this trip crashed their bike. We all crashed at different times.
So you just well, you don't drink, so it wasn't alcohol induced. This
No,
was
no.
just
And we paid the
environment.
insurance. Like we did it's fine. But so my whole thing was night 1. We're on this trip. It's for a week. We ended up doing around 1,400 miles in 5 days. And night 1, I smoked myself. Like I'm pretty sure my ankle was broken. I still have some issues with it. Like I can feel around and there's stuff floating around in there. Like it's not good. It's healed. It looks wrong. It doesn't look the same as the other
you
one.
broke your ankle, brother.
Yeah, night one, we were looking for a campsite, went off this road, and it was like a gravel road. And we all had comms, so we're all kind of talking. We're in a line. We're going down this gravel road. Everything's good. There's 2 bikes in front of me, then me, and a guy behind me. So we're going down the road. Everything's good. All of a sudden, the gravel turns into like silt, like dry, super fine sand that I've never seen in my life. And so it's creating these crazy dust clouds, whatever. I hear, I can't see in front of me anymore because the 2 bikes created a dust cloud.
Mushrooms. That's what happened. It was
No, it was not. So we're going, and I mean, we're not going.
It was space dust.
Yeah, basically, it straight up was moon
They
dust.
have more moon dust
It straight
in
up was.
Arizona than any other place on the planet.
It was insane. And so we're in Utah. No, we're in Nevada, Ely, Nevada right now. And it's night one. Going through. So it turns into space dust. And I can't see in front of me. And I hear over comms the dudes in front of me going, whoa, 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 be careful, whoa. They're panicking about something. And we're all cruising. We're going like 30, 35. But I don't know what they're wigging about. And they're just wigging. So they're not telling us what to be careful of. And I'm just like, well,
So you just keep throttle.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Keeps it open.
And I go into this cloud, can't see what's going on, and I feel the bike disappear from under me.
I felt it when you said you entered the cloud and couldn't see what was going on. You're on a motorcycle. Your buddy's in front of you panicking, and you hear him.
Yeah. Dude, the bike just disappears. And what happened was there were these ruts in the trail, super gnarly ruts, space ruts. And my bike went into the ruts without me, and it basically hit the rut, and I go to the side, and we had taken the hard bags off of the bikes preemptively, knowing probably going to snap these if we keep them on. So I'm thankful I did that. But what happened was the rack that the hard bags are on pinned my leg and my ankle against like the top of the rut. So my foot somehow got turned around and basically is facing south. I'm facing north. And the bike's on me and my shit's all twisted up. And when I hit, I'm like, oh, this sucks. This hurts. But I realize there's a guy behind me. So I'm like, I'm down. Like, don't run me over. And I'm my shit's so twisted up. And that's when I'm like, oh, this hurts really bad. So I'm trying to get the bike off me. And I was on a Yamaha Tenere 700, cool bike, off-road bike, pretty heavy, weighs 400, 500 pounds. And I'm trying to kick it just enough to get my twisted ankle out from under it. And I can't. So I'm like laying there in this silt on comms. The other dudes are gone. I'm like,
fucking hear you.
Basically, but
fucking cunts.
Honestly, I was like in a little bit of panic. I was like, because it's night one. I'm like, we just did all this work to get all these people to buy into this. And I'm like, dude, get this bike off me. Like, I'm screwed. Please get the bike off me. Austin's behind me. He comes, he sees I'm down. He like gently puts his bike down and runs over and gets it off just enough for me to get out.
He didn't just throttle into the
No.
in the panic.
No,
He's
so
like, I love the smell of mushrooms and chaos.
no, so he helps me out, and I knew my shit was jacked. And the other dudes turned around and like one of them laid their bike down trying to come around, and like it was just a big deal. And I stood up and I knew my shit was fucked, but I was like, we better go now because we're like, we need to leave here and go to a campsite because it's getting dark and I know my shit's like jacked up. So I'm just like, let's just go before it swells up.
And this is his shifting foot.
Yeah, this is my left. Yeah, this is my left foot.
Excellent.
So whatever, we make to the camp and everyone's like, dude, sit down, ice your ankle, whatever. I took my boot off and it was just a fucking balloon. And I was like, oh, this is not tight. So I iced my shit and like, whatever. Next morning, it was so bad in the night. It's funny. I told Austin, but where we camped, it was kind of like a little bit of I was on the top of the hill, basically. It was kind of a little bit of an incline. And my shit hurt so bad in the middle of the night, I had to piss. I just opened up my tent and rolled out and popped my bird out the side and just pissed onto the ground. Dude, and I'm pretty sure it like went downstream like to Austin's tent or something. I don't know, but it just was
And
so
he's the
bad.
guy that stopped and helped you.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm sorry, Austin.
He's a lad, not a friend.
Yeah, no, he's a friend and a lad. But so it was whatever. I knew my shit was jacked and ended up the next day, just for the rest of the trip, we had like 1,300, 1,200 more miles to go. So I'm just like, I'm just going to tie my boot as tight as I can get it every day and just go for it. And I finished the ride, whatever. But like getting my toe under the shift lever was a nightmare, and like I was eating like 4,000 or 5,000 milligrams of ibuprofen a day or Tylenol a day, like just basically chomping on like Tylenol because I'm just like, I'm going to die. It was so bad. And I've got pictures. We got to the salt flats and I hadn't taken my sock off. I took the boot off that first night, but I didn't take my sock off to look at it. But the next day we got to the salt flats and we camped on the salt flats. Allegedly, you're not supposed to do that. But I don't care. I've done it before. So you can leave it in, but you're not allowed to camp. Yeah. You're allegedly not allowed to camp on the salt flats. And we allegedly did. But they're like, hey, take your sock off. And I did. And my shit is just black and blue and so gnarly.
Yeah, post that picture up right now.
Yeah, it was bad, but
doesn't look good.
Yeah, it sucked. And my ankle, I don't have health insurance anymore because I left Q like an asshole. And so my shit is jacked. Like,
so you're still having problems with your ankle?
Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, it hurts like in the morning. During the day, it's kind of chill, but there's some stuff floating around in there. And
when you say floating around, like does it rattle?
No, but I feel like there's like little chips or something, like some little trinkets or something floating around. I don't know.
Yeah, health insurance and stability is stupid.
Yeah.
Have you ever put a bike down?
I'm a pirate.
You used to ride.
Yeah, anyone that rides has dropped a bike.
I've dropped a bike, but I've never crashed a bike.
That's the close.
Ridden much then,
dude. That
I used to exclusively ride a motorcycle.
Did we talk about dirt bikes and street bikes?
The last time I saw him on a dirt bike, he crashed that too. In Arizona.
Yeah, I was doing a wheelie while I was bored and laid it down.
Yeah,
I didn't loop out though. I just to the side.
I've crashed a fair amount.
But that like put it into perspective. I was going like 30. I think about it, and honestly, I will say because my ankle was so jacked up for the rest of the trip. I was a little gun shy about stuff because it's like I couldn't just put my feet down because I'm like, this sucked. So, but there were times where you'll see in the film, but like we're going through the most insane country. We were out west. We're in Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and just the most beautiful country. And you're carving these roads and stuff. And granted, I will say, so like we were on myself and the dude from DEF CON, we were on Tenere 700s, the adventure bikes or whatever, like, but they're made for dirt. And then the other two were on Super Tenere 1200s, which I had previously taken on my trip. They're amazing for state to state being on. They're 1200s. They got cruise control, super stable. They're amazing.
Yeah, it's the thing with the big bikes though, is when you lay it down or you're in dirt,
right.
It sucks.
Yeah, the 700s though, just like going state to state and trying to keep up with the 1200s, like we're pushing it.
It's like anything else, a gun or a silencer or car. Like you try to get a do-all motorcycle. It's a compromise in a lot of ways. But yeah, I mean, the frustration of that is I've been on some road trips on bikes, and if I tend to, especially anything like enduro, off-road, I like the smaller bikes you can manhandle. But then, on the road, they fucking suck.
And I mean, we're trying to keep up with the 1200s, and we were. But it's like once you go over 85, your front end starts wobbling and it's a sail in the wind. And having that in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, dropping at like 30 miles an hour in the dirt sucked. Dude, what happens if I go down at 80? What happened? Like, I was like in my head for a couple days. And then
it is
a
psychological thing with that getting. Well, I don't know. It's just part of like age too. Like I used to love that sort of stuff. And I've got a motorcycle for my 3rd birthday, actually. Like I've always ridden dirt bikes, street bikes, but those trips now don't appeal to me that much. I would rather like be in the truck or whatever, pulling the trailer on the road and then get to where we're going to ride off road.
Right.
Like doing both. I mean, it's a cool adventure, but because I end up frustrated because I have ridden my whole life. So like having a bike that's not purpose driven for what I'm doing is annoying to me.
I will say though that like, I mean, and it's any trip we've ever gone on or whatever, where it's like some of the most fun is had in camp, everyone just sitting around and like, and we were roughing it. I say we were roughing it. We had a support vehicle, whatever.
Welcome
so
to
it's
Cameroon, may I take your order, please?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So, but it's just, you're in the middle of nowhere with your buddies. And the dudes are being dudes, and just it's so much fun. There was a night where it got down to 26 degrees, and 2 of the dudes that came were like, "I didn't bring a sleeping bag." We're like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Like, so it was awesome. It was chaos.
Shared a sleeping bag?
No, I didn't, but someone may have allegedly, but yeah, I don't know. And it wasn't my dad.
So that's where you went.
Cycle
That's where you've been this whole time.
Yeah, I was wandering the earth. I was looking for new like holistic medicines.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I keep telling people.
Did you leave Q because of Thomas?
Yeah, tell us the truth.
Well, now that we're here, no, I didn't know. No, I just honestly, and like I've told the story to some people that have asked or whatever too, but I came to you and basically was like, hey man, there's these things that I want to do that I've wanted to do for a while. And one of the parts was like working alongside you and especially being on the podcast and hearing the story a bunch of times, and not about the honey badger replacing MP5SD, but no, but like I know your story and basically you had these things that you wanted to do and you did what you needed to do to accomplish them. And that inspired me. And I came to you and said, there's these things that I want to do. And I really want to get them done. And you couldn't have been more supportive. You were like, you're speaking my language. Like you're talking about following your dreams, and I could never stop you from doing that. And I couldn't be more appreciative. And everyone I talk to, I tell them like, Kevin gave me every opportunity that I've had. Like I owe it to Kevin. Like he gave me all of these opportunities, and I will always fly the Q flag. Like,
Oh man, I appreciate that.
no, I appreciate it. Like I will always fly the Q flag, and I still do. Any chance I get where people have questions. It's funny. I feel like I answer more questions about Q now that I'm not at Q than when I was there, but
Well,
I don't mind it.
It's funny because around the same time, Mitch in engineering, he came to me. It was similar but different, and because my recollection of it too. Like I remember you and I talking about it, and it's like my advice is, I think, was supportive, but it's like I care about all of you, so it's like, yeah, like what's best for Q, but then all of you individually, and anybody that I care about, I would never stop them from like pursuing the thing they love. And
Yeah.
but I remember that it was like, well, Q's really taken off, and like you've got a face on here and this and that, and you stick around 2 or 3 more years, it's probably going to give you more opportunity for these other things you want to do than if you do it now. It's a similar thing like I talked to my son about, and and he also wants to do it his own way, and you want to do it, and that's fine. So for me, it's like, it's great. And I was thinking about a question this morning, and thinking about the podcast, getting a shower, getting ready, and thinking about the hunt to Cameroon and like how different and difficult it was, and just different aspects of it. And it was like, what's the thing, and like a question for each of us was like, what's the thing you're most afraid of, Thomas? Like in life, like whether it is, we talk about these things, Jay gets this moment of panic where he's like, I want to go do these things, and why would I not do it now? I don't have kids. Those are the things we talked about. Like, you don't have kids, you're not married. Like, take all the risks now because you don't have shit to lose.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to fuck up somebody else's life by going doing these things.
I'm afraid of dying violently.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't want to die violently. Yeah.
Huh.
Sometimes when you're on an adventure,
Yeah.
shit goes south sometimes, right? And
Yeah.
and it's like, sure, like, I don't want to see some giant snake or some crazy spider.
Yeah, the normal
or like a
ones.
gorilla that's like trying to fight.
Yeah.
But like, it's just kind of like, that's all fine and good, and I can handle it in those moments. Like staring down a Cape Buffalo at 9 yards. Like you just deal with it, right? But like, I just don't want to die violently. That's what
I love this because I think that is, this is no disrespect to you or your great fear, but that is a young man's answer. That's a youthful answer.
100%.
So, but it correlates, I think, with mine very well. And so does Jay's story, actually.
Well, I mean, I think mine it's not so. My idea of success isn't necessarily like monetary success. I guess my biggest fear is that by the time that I can't do any of these things that I can go do now, my biggest fear is that I look back and go, man, I really should have taken that opportunity that I was given, at least tried it and saw what it was. And I'm afraid of failure in that sense of like, to me, I would have failed myself, or I would fail myself if I don't at least attempt the things that I want to attempt. Like if I'm in a position when I'm older and I either physically can't do it or for whatever reason, I can't do these things. If I'm in that position, I look back and I go, I lost it. I should have taken this. I should have done this. I should have done, like, I'm unhappy now because I didn't do those things. I'm afraid of that.
Life can get in the way.
Right.
I think that's interesting because I think I'll say it in a little different way, but it's my fear too. Like yours is dying violently. Like mine is dying with regret.
Yeah.
Like, and not regret of, I mean, God, you guys know my personal life too. Like I make more mistakes than almost everybody else we know combined. However, it's like I want to try and do everything. And yeah, I mean, I think what's the quote about living a life of quiet desperation? It's like settling, kind of like what you're talking about. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I find it from haters too online. Like the funny part of that to me is like, I'm not the most successful guy in the world. And I'm probably in the top half of the smartest people at our company, maybe, but there's not a lot of people I would trade lives with.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I think about that. That's what drives me is, hunting and things like physically, I'm getting older and all these other things kind of get in the way, like me having custody of my kids their whole lives. And not that got in the way. That's great lessons for me and something that I wouldn't trade for anything, but it was restrictive of my freedom to go and do things. You get married, you have kids, you think you're going to raise your kids together. And, me being from the South and traditional and kind of simple and dumb in some ways, it's like, well, my job is to provide and do these things. And, I'm not going to be at every game. I'm not going to be at every school event, but I'm going to make sure my kids have the best life they can, and their mother is going to do these things. And it didn't turn out that way. It turned out to be a mom and a dad. And so then, like after that 10 years, and my kids are old now, and I can go do what I want. Like I want to get it done. But it's the same with business. Like to circle back to the hater thing, like the thing I find so amusing about it, and like the criticisms that I get professionally, a lot of those are warranted. And as we all know, like the majority of the stuff is very convoluted that's ever posted about me, or it's just not true. But I just love it because I'm the biggest overachiever I know.
Yeah.
Like I am. And that's not to be arrogant that I've achieved so much. It's just like the expectation of my life was so little. And if I quit working now, I already like accomplished 100 more things than I thought I ever would.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think I'm addicted to that now. And like knowing that I can do these things.
Right.
Like I don't want to, dying violently would suck. But me dying, wishing I had tried other things and gone and done things is what causes me anxiety and panic at this point in my life.
Yeah.
But at what point does that go away?
I hope it never does. I always want to be driven.
Well, I think we have a similar feeling toward it for different reasons. Because, like, for me, I think a lot of it stems from I didn't grow up with siblings. So I'm basically an only child. I have a half sister, but we didn't grow up together.
Yeah.
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. So I need these like shared adventures, these shared experiences with people that I care about. And like, if it gets to a point where I can't go on these adventures and that kind of thing, like, I don't know.
Well, I think everybody needs it, but I think, a lot of people get it from their families and loved ones and stuff. And I think, like, I'm the luckiest guy I know in so many ways, but I'm not lucky in that way. Like, I don't really have a lot of family to share shit with. Like, my kids could not give a shit about what I do. Like, my career, any things that, like, most people criticize me about, and where I get a lot of fulfillment and value and praise for things that our company has accomplished and our team has accomplished. And of course, like me being the face of it and the owner, I get all the credit. I get all the credit when things go good, undeserved. And I get all the credit when things fuck up, which is partially deserved. But man, like my children, they can't tell you one thing that I've done unless their friends tell them. Like, your dad did the honey badger or whatever the thing is. Yeah. My kids don't care. And like, I just don't have. So I think, if you being an only child, maybe that's the same thing. Like, I'm not connected to most people in that way. Like, I'm the youngest by 7 years. Yeah. And I don't really have a relationship with my family. And
yeah, like, when I say like shared experiences, like I have my family, I have my parents and stuff, and I have a normal relationship with my parents. But I think like growing up, I didn't get like competitive until probably like my junior year of high school, but I always played sports because I was like, oh, I'm part of a team. I got all my friends. Like, this is a thing. I have that team aspect. We're sharing these experiences together. And then I think a lot of these adventure. Like when we go to Africa, it's a primal sense of like, we're out here together. We're going through it, and like whatever happens, it happens to all of us.
Yeah, those sorts of things. You develop a connection with people that you can't you could work with someone for 20 years and be friends with them and, see them at the Super Bowl party, what the fuck ever. But you can have more of a connection and bond after a week in hunting Africa or doing whatever.
Even just like driving around looking for animals. Like it doesn't even have to be like the hunt.
And I mean, for the rest of my life, and I worked with Mitch and Nick, and we had working relationships as well. Like we knew each other, but like if I don't see them for 20 years, in 20 years, we'll be connected. Not just because we worked together, but we went to Africa together. Same with Jose. He doesn't live up here.
Yeah.
I only see him when he was around here, but like forever, we will be connected because we went to Africa together. And even people that we didn't go to Africa with, like when Pat Hemingway was here, or like any of the guys that have gone, like Mike Murphy, all those dudes that have gone, Danny and Ray, we didn't go with, well, we did go with them, but anyone that's experienced the same thing, there's that connection with them.
Yeah, I think a great struggle or a great adventure, it's must tap into that psychology somehow the same way where you get a connection with someone that you may not have a connection with otherwise. Like you and I last night at the bar on a date. It was the same thing, man. Yeah. I thought we're connected in a way, but you're like, nah, man, you ain't coming to jazz room.
I was on a date with you already. We were on a date together.
Right.
But, you and me have been on like 30 hunts together. You know what I mean? And we're brothers for life because of it.
That's true. Yeah. It's true. So it's still violent death. That's still the thing you're most afraid of.
Yeah, because already in my life, like if I were to die tomorrow peacefully, right, I would have no regrets. I've lived such an amazing life, and I've got to do so many amazing things that I've dreamed of, and I've manifested, and I've gotten to do the things I've already wanted to do. And there's a lot of things I still want to do.
Of course.
But if I were to die tomorrow, I would have no regrets. So I don't have any fear of that because I know that the life I've lived already has been amazing. The people in it, the places I've been, the experiences I've had, all have been worth it. And if it was to end tomorrow, then we're good.
A thing that you and I probably share that you may not feel the same way about is that like one of my big fears is like I'm afraid of what comes after losing my parents.
Really?
I'm afraid of what I turn into. Because like a lot of the stuff I told my mom recently, a lot of the reason, it's probably not true, but I feel like they're a huge reason I've not just gone down a dark path, whether it be like prison or crime, whatever. Like all these things, I've stayed out of jail.
He really wants a life of crime.
I want to be in prison so bad.
It's a secret of his that he wants to go to prison.
But like,
that is so dumb.
Yeah.
I know. But I think
he has like a whole plan of like joining up with the Peck of Woods or whatever you call him. And he's got this whole plan.
But
he's even got his tattoos picked out, I think. Sorry,
they're already on me. Yeah. No, but I told my mom, no, they're not. I told my mom already, like, the reason that I haven't done, like, I've had opportunities to do a lot of stuff that I shouldn't do. And I think a big reason I haven't is because I'm like, my mom and my dad are still around. If I go to prison for if this happens, they're going to be super bummed. Like, I'd rather them not, I don't want them to be bummed out. Like, I don't care what I do, but they're going to be bummed about it.
See, that's an interesting perspective. Like me as a father of adults now and having a strange relationship with my parents who, I was not raised traditionally. It's like I have a fear of my children. Like their mother, from my perspective, wants them to need her entire life. And that's fulfilling for her in whatever way, whether, from my perspective, might be controlling or something that's unhealthy. Yeah. But it might be a good thing. I don't know. For me, I feel like my job and my fear with my children is I want them to grow up to have their own lives, and whatever life they want and can have, I want them to have it, and not for me giving them things.
Right.
Like I want them to have the life they should have, and I don't want them to ever feel judged by me or that they shouldn't do something because I will be disappointed. Of course, you want your kids to grow up to be like good people. They don't they don't need to be like Mother Teresa or anything.
No, I got
But
you.
it's like, be good people, contribute to the world somehow, some way. Like, just don't be a shit ass. Other than that, like, I don't want that expectation. And I also know from my perspective with my family and that strange dynamic you know, I've been very fortunate from a young age, and that's not how I was raised. And I'm the youngest by a lot. And their expectation became, from my perspective, of I need to take care of my family financially because I've been very lucky.
Right.
And like that's fucked up too. And it's like I realized like I was going to become an attorney because my parents thought I should be a professional. I would do these things, and it's like that's fucked up. Like I don't want my parents' life, and that's no knock on them.
No,
like my
yeah.
parents did great, and from what they came from, they made a bigger improvement than I did from what I came from to what I've achieved.
Right.
So I honor them in that way, but we could never get past in recent years the fact that I don't want your judgment and I don't give a shit because, you know, in sort of a respectful, but it's also a disrespectful way, but it's because like they feel rejected in a sense because I don't want the life that they want or that they want for me.
Right.
And it creates a weird dynamic. So like you with your parents, because I wonder that it's like, your parents did a lot of things right, but are they doing this wrong? Are you reading it wrong? Because like if I found out my kids didn't like you wanting to go to prison is just stupid. But if it were anything else, it's like
His dad's a cop too. He would not last.
No,
very long.
I mean bad shit. I mean like if I just go join the Crips, like my dad's gonna be bummed about it.
yeah. But if that's what you want with your life, like
That's true.
Get
Sorry,
after
Dad.
it.
That's true.
I mean,
You know what?
I mean, that's what I think. I mean, I think you're just being funny, and that's like a stupid thing. But I understand like the part of it. But especially, I guess if you're raised by a cop, like it's always thrown in your face. Like I was 100% not raised by a cop.
Right.
Let me just say.
Yeah.
And I think a life of crime for me would have been totally accepted.
I just-
but it's like I wanted something different. And that was very hard for my parents. And so I've been very careful, I think, and I've tried with my children to, hey, I'm not going to give you a bunch of money.
Right.
What I'm going to do is I will pay for experiences and I want you to go live like an incredible life. Also, if you want to drive a school bus or be a school teacher or a barista, if that's what you want to do, hey, I'm on your side. I just want you to have the ability to not have to do something that you hate in life for money.
Yeah. For me, it's not. I think the differentiator from like what I'm actually saying and to what I mean is that like I appreciate what my parents did and how they raised me, and I appreciate just the things that they've done. And I guess I want to be able to. I want to do whatever I want to do. And my parents are supportive. Like when I was about to graduate high school and didn't know what I was going to do, I told my mom, my friends, and I wanted to drive around and skate a skate park in all 50 states. And my mom was like, okay, well, like, do that, but why don't you make something out of it? So instead of just being like, no, you're going to college. So, like, my parents would support me in whatever I do. Maybe not crack, but other than that, they would support me and stuff. But I just appreciate what they've done. So I guess the fear part is like, I just want them to be able to, I don't want them to ever have to shy away from a question or something. If like one of their peers is like, oh, what's your son up to? I want them to be stoked to tell them, oh, he's doing this or he's doing that. And I don't mean like I'm afraid I'm afraid of them not being able to do that. I just, maybe it's like a selfish thing. Maybe it's like a pride, but I want them to be able to be stoked and tell people like,
well,
oh, he's doing this.
I think everybody wants, you know, your parents to be proud of you. You know, maybe what I realized after having my own children and choosing to raise my children differently than my parents thought I should have, or whatever the things are, was, you know, this is probably like years of therapy. It's like, yeah, so I'm like wanting my dad's approval and I'm never going to get it. And like, why do I care? Like my dad is probably in a practical sense, he's not educated, but he's the smartest person I've ever known.
Yeah.
Like built his own plane and flew it, like just all kinds of crazy
That's
shit.
fucking crazy.
He is insanely brilliant.
Imagine
and
getting
a
in your own
capable
plane.
man.
Like
yeah.
you made it, and then you're like, well, let's go.
And before he did that, he built his own ultralight, which was kind of like a bootleg aircraft, and flew it and crashed it, and still had the balls to build a plane.
All right, back to the drawing board.
So you know, for me, I look at it and I see my dad's frustration I have for many years as he's gotten older, and in my like lame opinion, it is someone that loves him and cares about him. It's like he's very pissed off that he lives with regret that he's the biggest underachiever I know. My dad's done fine for himself,
right?
But in the sense of like his capabilities and what he could do, but like, you know, from his childhood or whatever, he didn't have the confidence or the willingness to like take risk.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then they weren't even that young, but they had kids, and my parents are really old, but had kids, and then you get tethered down. And I think, you know, then my parents, you know, I'm an accident by 7 years, and I think my dad was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm never going to get to do what I want. And I think it resented the fuck out of me his whole life, which does not say me, like, whatever, I don't care. But it's like the realization of, like, I'm never going to get his approval, and what does it fucking matter?
Yeah.
And it's like, he and I don't agree on most things with life. Like,
Right.
he's a good man, and I respect him, but it is hard to love someone and see how brilliant they are, and that, oh, well, you're going to take the safe route. Like, and I think it probably pisses him off with me because he knows he's way smarter than me, and I did not take the safe route. And like what he's wanted growing up so poor in the time when he did, like he's always wanted the respect of people his age for creating wealth.
Right.
And it's my opinion. And I never wanted that. What I wanted was to never work in a fucking factory and never have to work doing something that I hated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And so things just turned out differently. But I don't know. Like, that's cool to make your parents proud, but it's also like you maybe like just get the one life, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's deep.
Got deep there.
I know what happened.
I don't know.
What the fuck happened?
You started, yeah. You
Well,
guys,
adventure and
Yeah.
all this stuff. My kids, you guys growing up.
Yeah.
yeah. We're
Fucking empty nest syndrome over here. I'm like freaking the fuck out. Need
so
to call my therapist.
so.
Oh fuck.
I have a confession to make.
Yeah, me too.
I hate when you.
I wish Rad was here for it.
No, so it's not a big deal. So one day we were sitting in the office at work, me and Jay, and you were like ragging on us all day. You were just like going to town on us for whatever reason, as you do.
Wait, give an example, because I feel like I'm a wonderful boss.
You're a wonderful boss, but
Yeah.
you give us a lot of shit for various things, and it's great. Whatever.
Yeah, there was something that
Terms of endearment. Right?
Yeah.
So we were like laughing about it, and we were having a good time, and we started talking about like 69 and stuff, and how you think that's hilarious, 69. So we're like, we decided, we're like, you know what? Let's start telling people that Kevin exclusively only 69s from the top down.
Like you're on the top.
Always, and nothing else.
How would this come up in conversation?
We got it.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Only with friends of yours, not like
Yeah.
randoms, like people that are like friends of yours.
I don't have any friends.
But
No, like some, like-
internationally, you're known as. Well, I
So-
guess Maverick, because you'd be inverted.
One night we were having a sundowner, and you were like talking to I think Ray or somebody.
Yeah,
Like,
some guys linked up with us.
We like linked up, and we were over there talking to Rad. And we're like, yo, Rad,
Yeah, like we got to tell you something.
you'll never fucking believe this, dude. but Kevin, he's a sexual guy. But
Yeah.
he only exclusively 69s from the top down. Like on top of her,
Dude.
And he
I'll tell you-
was so fucking offended.
Rad's a good friend.
What
Rad's
the
a
fuck
real
is going on right
Rad's a real good friend because he was crushed. he looked at us and said, "No." We're like, "Yes." He's like, "No."
Well, okay, so I have some questions.
What a sick son of a bitch.
Yeah. He was very bummed.
So, in this
Well, we told
weird
Ray
thing you decided to make up, like this is like the only sexual thing I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That we know of.
Yeah, that we are understanding of. Yeah,
Yeah, we're akin to it because you told us one day.
yeah.
But we told
And
Ray
Why did
because-
I tell you guys this? Like,
I think
what's
so. It was under the guise that we were like, yeah, because it's not you found YouTube very recently, very late in your life.
Yeah.
You discovered
Yeah.
that. So we were doing this under the guise of like you just kind of discovered 69ing, and no one ever really told you the proper
Nobody
way to
told
do
you
it.
how to do it, so you're gonna
So
made
you've just
it
been
up.
going inverted the whole time. And so we told Ray because we're like, he's got a big mouth. He'll tell everyone.
yeah. We
And boy, did he.
strategically
Boy,
told
that's-
her.
Because Danny came
Yeah,
up to
good
us and
call.
was like, Ray was talking about Kevin 69 from the top. We're like, dude, yeah. We're like, we can't believe it either.
Yeah, man.
All right. Okay. So my next question.
Yo,
Okay. Let's say that this is made up.
Yeah.
Why would it be wrong?
it ain't wrong. It's just
It ain't right.
it's just like the
Why do you get to decide? Your parents get to decide your life and
you're just
how I
gonna-
69.
You're just gonna punish the damsel that you're with.
So look at the feminist you are. You
No,
you
'cause-
get to decide if a woman likes it or
it's
not.
funny because usually you're with like a like a smaller like trim woman, like a beautiful woman, and the picture of your
big ladies. Sorry to crush you, but
the picture of like picturing like you're kind of like dad bod.
now
like,
you're calling me fat too.
No, but we're also picturing you being stoked because like, let's do like, all right, you lay down.
Why are you guys thinking about my sex life?
We were getting other people to think about.
Clearly.
we were.
You made up a whole goddamn.
Brad was
scenario.
so crushed. He was standing on the side of this cliff in Africa, just lost.
yeah, he's like,
as lost as I am right
what
now.
a monster.
And he was wearing his big one piece like camo jumpsuit and just so upset.
So yeah, that was that. It was it's no big. We didn't like tell like the
Yeah,
mass population.
It was just like the group of guys in Africa that we were with.
oh, but it was a good time.
And now the world.
Yeah, and we just were like you rag on us all the time for various things, and we just decided.
But I don't ever make up shit.
That's true.
I was wondering why my dating life's gone to shit. Now I get it. Maverick 69.
Yeah, you were inverted.
I don't know. I think. Look, I'm not the most experienced guy in the world. I'll throw it out there.
All right.
But I got to think you're wrong for thinking it's punishing women. There has to be a whole segment of
right.
women that love this.
You're right. No,
But
you're right.
now I have to investigate. You're right. You
Holy
sparked
shit.
the inverted 69 adventures right here.
Have you ever inverted 69?
No way.
James?
I can't say that's been done.
You can't?
No,
Yeah.
Not inverted.
You're Maverick.
Yeah, dude, you're fucking Tom Cruise up in here.
I will not be fucking Tom Cruise up in here.
Man.
Not even inverted.
Well, JP, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, I was in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Thanks for picking me up in Cameroon. I was super lost.
Dude, you couldn't survive long out there. I'm glad we found you.
Good luck in Iraq.
Thank you.
If you need a hand.
Call Ross Perot.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And, I don't know what else to say because I'm.
I don't know.
We
Yeah.
love you. We miss you. I'm proud of you. Little
Appreciate it.
wings.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate it.
Flying the coop.
Keep crushing. Do you want to plug your business or anything?
No, I mean, hopefully by the time this is out, that motorcycle trip stuff will be out, and everyone can go watch that. It'll be cool. And yeah, I don't know. You know what my
where can they
Say
watch
I
it?
want a print. How do I buy a print?
Oh yeah, if you guys want to print, I take little photos of things and sell prints.
You gotta look. You look at the camera. Look at the people.
I sent some to Kevin.
Oh, yeah, I was like,
He
with
didn't know
no
where they were
note from no one.
Yeah, but so when he told me that, he's like, yeah, Kevin doesn't. He just doesn't know who they're from. I'm like, it's him and Rat. Who the fuck else is gonna send him a
all
photo of
kinds
him
of
and Rat?
weirdos on the
Yeah.
internet, man.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, people that slide into my DMs, trust me,
Yeah.
it's not all inverted 69s.
If you want to buy a print from me, you can go to thepineovercoat.com.
The pine like the tree?
Yeah.
Like a coffin.
Yeah. Pine overcoat's like an old timey way of saying like a coffin, a pine overcoat.
Oh, I didn't know this. That's
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Yeah. It was just something that didn't mean anything to me. So I was like, I'll do that.
You know
So,
what you ought to do, or we should do for him?
Yes.
I don't know if it's like how you do this. Like, I guess this would be like a GoFundMe thing, but like while you're in Iraq, like if you want to Jay to take a selfie holding a picture of you in Iraq, you send $20.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be kind of tight.
that would be
kind of
so-
tight.
We should come up with something like
kinda
that.
tight.
Is that the thing?
All right. Yeah. So
Or I'll get an Iraqi to hold a picture of you and I'll take the photo.
Yeah, that's better. See,
Yeah, yeah.
this is
I like it.
synergy. Is
if
very
you
good.
if you
between
want
us.
your picture with Jay in Iraq, send him $20 in your picture, and he'll post it up.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do we set up a GoFundMe so everybody can see this,
Yeah.
or is it just?
I think we-
you
I
want
don't
to keep
know.
it private.
No. I mean,
No.
anyone who watches this, let's do it.
Yeah. I'm into it.
That'll be cool. I'll do it.
All right.
Tight.
I got to send a great picture of me. It's probably going to be a Nate. I know which one it is.
I have a feeling I know which one it is too.
I'm wearing boots and I'm holding a flower pot.
Yeah, dude. All right. Well, best of luck, friend.
Anytime you guys need me to come sit at the old,
If you want to see Jay in upcoming content, leave it in the comments.
let me know.
Maybe we'll listen to you.
I'm in the neighborhood.
And if
in
you don't-
color at the new podcast room at the new building.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
If you want Jay to keep coming back to the podcast, let us know in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, you heard him. You don't have to slide into my DMs and ask me if I can bring Jay back. All right,
Yeah.
Follow the fucking rules.
Yeah. Just comment, say bring Jay back, and maybe we will one time.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Thanks for
Adventure
having me.
on. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.